and TAC.
David Schwarz can see yesterday clearly.
You kind of felt a little bit invincible, and you felt as though nothing could go wrong for you, and you were just on a high the whole time.
But the memory fades, and the here and now dawn large and real. The spins are gone. He will leap and launch no longer. Fate decreed that his youthful brilliance would be the candle that burned twice as bright, but only for half as long.
So I felt a little bit cheated and a little bit miserable and sorry for myself, but through good people and good family, you just try your best to get back out there and give it one more crack, and that's what I've done.
He's seen others scale lofty heights. He will know, deep down, that it could have been him.
I'm not as exciting or probably as good as what I used to be, but I certainly give 100%. There's a lot of pressure, but God, it's like winning the lotto every Saturday.
And welcome to Friday Night Football, a big night for David Schwarz and Melbourne, and for the Kangaroos, both losing last week. It's been a warm day in Melbourne. It'll be a hot night tonight. Do Irishmen work on St Patrick's Day, Dermot? How are you going?
This one does, but he's looking to the end of this evening, yeah.
He was awesome, Schwarz, wasn't he, in 1994?
94?
Yeah,
I thought
terrific.
he was the best pack mark, you know, to take a grab from within a pack. I thought he was outstanding.
Gee, this is a nice touch. Mark Dawson and Dennis Pagan. Mark not here last week, chairman of selectors. Supposedly a big rift between a long friendship. It seems as if everything's okay.
Well, he's taken a couple of steps ahead. There you go. He's let him through the gate. All's forgiven.
Yep. Well,
I hope so.
Do you think they've just started slowly, or there are some problems on the field with the Kangaroos?
Well, definitely they did start slowly. They had some problems on the ground, Mick Martin not being there last week, but I just think it's very difficult to win a game of a grand final back-to-back, but when you've got internal problems, that just compounds it as well. We take a look at some of the match winners here. Corey McKernan has to start in the ruck, push forward, and will need to take 2 contested marks a quarter and kick goals. Anthony Ingerson, I think, is the man to go with him once he pushes forward. He's going to play 90% of the game forward. If he does play further up the ground, maybe Neatsy, and the bloke who hits front and centre better than anyone else in the team, Peter Bell, also very good underneath the hands. McDonald might get a crack at him in the centre, but I think Leoncelli will get the first option on him because he's very good. They've got very sure hands, Leoncelli, and they'll probably like him in the centre of the ground.
No Carey, no Stevens, no Scott, but there's some impressive names back. Shoal, Pike, Martin.
Well, the outs hurts, but Mick Martin, he won't concede a lead up the middle of the ground. He plays in front of his opponent. They lead out on 45-degree angles on him. Last week they were chopped up down the spine, the Kangaroos.
Well, the Demons, there is a doubt about Jeff White. Hutto's going to confirm all of that in just a moment or two. Neitz and Schwarz, no goals between them last week. They were their 2 leading goal scorers last year. Neitz did play back, of course.
Yeah, they need to get hands, and I think Nita will push forward sometime tonight. They'll probably realise the error of their way last week and just pushing forward to make a bit of a mix for them.
It helps with no Carey, obviously, because Neitz would have been a good matchup, but now he may be a bit looser for them.
Yeah, well, he's going to be a bit of a wild card for them, isn't he? So they do have that up their sleeve, and they will try and get a bit of stability early on with him and then try and get goals out of him as the game goes on.
They're inexperienced, the Demons. You have a look at that games. They average 69 compared to 105. There's a big gap, isn't there?
That's a huge gap. Well, I suppose really the fact is that 105 odd games per man, that's it's an enormous statistic for any team though. So look, 69 isn't too bad, but 105 is way out there.
You look at the for both teams, the firepower of the Kangaroos is pretty impressive compared with Melbourne.
Well, they kick goals, don't they? Yeah. The Demons are just struggling. They've lost the three-prong attack, which served them so well 2 years ago, Gary Lyon and the other boys, but now they've really got to come up with something new.
Melbourne's about to come out. Nice touch on their banner too with Anthony Stevens. Let's go down and join Hutto.
Thanks, Bruce. It is very warm down here. It was 35 degrees, would you believe, at 6 o'clock as the Demons come onto the ground, and we can confirm that Jeff White is out of the Melbourne side. He's been replaced by Marcus Seacamp as the Demons about to break through their banner. You can expect, the word is, that there'll be a bit more of an open forward line tonight, trying to give a bit of space for James Cook. And they're fairly confident here without Stevens and Carey. The feeling is that last week they were favourites. This week they are the underdogs, so they've got nothing to lose tonight. Neil Danaher, the coach of Melbourne, will join us in just a moment down here on the boundary line. At the moment, the coaching staff coming around, and Neil Danaher is about to join us. Todd Viney and Gary Lyon, of course, part of their coaching staff now, along with Brian Royal, who came across from the Bulldogs. They're fairly late coming out of the ground, just 5 minutes to go before the start. We'll speak to Neil shortly. Let's go back to you, Bruce.
Thanks, Anthony. You won't be a moment. They were actually out there not until about 10 minutes ago.
Late training,
yeah. Then they went back in. Neil Danaher's with Anthony Hudson.
Neil, you're fairly late getting onto the ground. No Carey, no Stevens. How are you going to adapt to that?
Well, it's probably two headaches I don't have to worry about tonight, but they've got a lot of good players, McKernan and Archer and these sort of fellas that will be kept busy, but we need to get off to a good start. Last week we had to chase down 5 goals, didn't quite get there. We've got to make sure we don't do that tonight.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Good luck to Neil Danaher and
The Coca-Cola AFL Premiership Season 2000. Proudly brought to you by Victoria Bitter. Mitsubishi Magna V6. One drive and you're hooked. McDonald's Footy Burger. And Telstra, making life easier.
Well, if you're watching last Friday night, you would have seen the Coca-Cola Court Red-Handed competition. One person in the crowd has the chance to pick the winning team, and the margin, if they get dead right, they get $10,000. There's our lucky winner tonight. If they get within 6 points either way, 2 tickets to the grand final. I think that was Dipper out there going like that. Dipper's got all the details.
Yeah, thanks very much, Bruce. I know some Pat Stay and happy St. Pat's Day to all the Irish out there. But I found myself another Italian, Johnny D'Angelo. Johnny, you're Barrack 4?
North Melbourne, of course.
And who's going to win tonight?
North by 18.
By 18. Bruce, 18 points. $10,000 richer, buddy. Ooh. Good luck.
I reckon Dipper's already just about given it to him. So John going for the Kangaroos by 18 points. There's Schwarz, he's out there. We'll take a break and we'll be back with the opening bounce right after this on Friday Night Footy. Welcome back. Hot night here. As I said, it's been warm conditions. Not a huge crowd. Jason Dunstall, as always. George, how are you going, Jason?
Oh, looking forward to tonight, Bruce.
3 rookies in the Melbourne lineup tonight. Brad Green and Paul Wheatley have come in. We saw Cameron Bruce last week. He looked okay, didn't he?
He looked very impressive, and they're unveiling another couple of youngsters tonight. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, it's very important that the Demons do get some young players putting their hand up.
No doubt about that. Huge win, really, for either team tonight. The Kangaroos to get back on track and Melbourne to make a statement early in the year.
Well, Melbourne dropped so many games late in the season last year that Neil Danaher needs a win, doesn't he? There's no two ways about it. He needs a win just to take a bit of pressure off himself. Having a look there now, Farmer going to the pocket, being picked up by Blakey, and next to him, Cookie and Mick Martin. They're going to leave a lot of room there for those 2 players to lead from the square. I reckon Farmer will virtually play as the full forward down there.
Kangaroos to the left. Hewitt and McKernan playing in the goal square. Neats on McKernan to start with. Hewitt, someone we haven't mentioned, was pretty good last week in kicking 3 in a losing team. Start pretty important. No Jeff White here, so a big task for Simmons. And maybe Nicholson later tonight. Belted away by Lang. Quick kick forward by Leoncelli. A bit of space here. Martin leading out hard. Mickey would have been desperate to get out there last week. Up and under the centre wing. Ingerson good against Archer there. King unloads to centre half forward. Front spot was Hewitt. Well read by Bell. Bell's little give was good to Abraham. Finds some space and runs a long way. Too far. He's going to pick him up. It's too far.
He hasn't picked it up himself, Abraham, here yet. He doesn't know that he's been pinged. He's thanking everybody. No, he's going to look over the shoulder. What the what, he says.
About tell you what, 3 of his teammates went and patted him on the back. They all thought it was a goal too.
Well,
What do you reckon? He ran a long way, didn't he? But they don't normally call him, do they?
2 paces too many.
Oh, that's ugly.
Leoncelli, second little kick in the first minute, the half didn't go far. Shannon Grant banging hard and high. Abraham in the middle. Scholl was there. Hewitt off hands. Harvey back. Calthorpe, who kicked a couple last week. McKernan will get it.
He just snuck around the back of the pack there. He didn't actually make it to the contest, and when he realised he wasn't there, he just took the punt that if somebody was going to be front and centre, he was going to run on, and he was the first man forward.
Yeah, well, luck's a fortune. I mean, it was a pretty indiscriminate kick from Calthorpe. He just leant back off one step and let go with a bit of a mongrel. But if you put yourself in an attacking position, that's the sort of thing that can happen.
It's good play, though, because he could do nothing else from there.
Yep.
Should kick the goal, and he's booted it through. Well, you said he's got to take a couple of marks a quarter and kick some goals tonight, and he started well.
Well, the one thing we saw last week is that the Kangaroos didn't get anything out of their big men. That's including Burton and Capuano and McKernan. But at least things have started off pretty well tonight. McKernan's going to be very important for them up forward. Really uncontested. He went to the contest, then drifted off, and as Dermot said, all you can do is put yourself in a position where you might be able to receive the ball. And as it turned out, he was right on the spot to kick the goal.
Too many players just loiter on the fringe of the pack in that situation. At least take the punt that your team will win it, or run defensively so if they opposition win it, you can repel it. Go somewhere.
Simmons again high. Leoncelli had his hands on it. McDonald. Handball ineffective to his brother. Simpson. Well done, McDonald. Just slapped it forward. McCartney squeezed it out. Clayton kicked a couple last week at centre wing. Archer playing forward on Ingerson, out of play.
It's an interesting one, that, with Archer, because he's not the tall man. I actually asked him once how tall he is precisely, and he said he's 5'11" and 3/4.
He plays about 6'2", though,
He
Derm.
certainly does. So that means McKernan has to push forward to be the big target as well.
By Woden caught up by Calthorpe again.
Only 3 Kangaroo players forward of this. It's almost on centre wing, but only 3 forwards in the Kangaroo direction forward of this bounce down.
Capuano won it. Woden kept his head down, then a little kick. Walsh had to search for it a bit, found it. Handball, okay. Phoebe was quick and quick-witted. It's in close, isn't it? Kangaroos giving them no room, free kick.
Well, gee, Walsh turned back into traffic then, didn't he? He probably need to take it on himself just to spin it around and snap kick the ball forward just for a bit of yardage.
McDonald at half-back. He goes down the line. Plenty of Kangaroos there. Pearl, what's he trip? Back to Lane, cut off though. And a free kick again to Melbourne for hanging on.
It's only the 4-minute mark, but the Demons are better around it at the fall of the ball at the moment. They square it up to Uze through the middle. They're better around the fall at the ball at winning it.
Farmer at the back. Cook was there. And here's a goal coming up. Rigoni's got it. Demons strike back early, so all square here. McKernan and Rigoni, the goal scorers. Simmons has been getting high and doing quite well early. Powell up and under there from Rigoni. Big fly, Schwarz at the back, and he's ripped it off everybody and taken the mark. We know that he's got finger problems. He's kicked to Woden effective. Woden keen to get around on the left. Back to Schwarz. Schwarz tried to load it up a bit. It was touched off the boot. Kick around the body from Cameron Bruce. Is it a goal?
He's got it. This kid has got good talent. He spent a couple of years on the rookie list.
Well, he looked a very exciting player last week, Cameron Bruce, and obviously blessed with a lot of talent in his goal. I mean, you've got to turn some of these half chances into goals, particularly for the Demons to be a chance tonight. And it mightn't have been the cleanest spinning ball, but he certainly knew where the goals were. That's off one step. He's just unloaded. A little bit of a floater, but all you can do is put them through the post. It doesn't matter how they spin as long as they go through.
He's got the makings of a kid who could perhaps at some stage stand up at centre half forward. He's got good mobility, a bit of size on him in terms of height. He's not overly heavy, but he travels around okay.
Centre bounce. Simmons again winning it. Leoncelli. Simpson pushing forward to centre half forward. Archer used his body, tried to get it to Scholl. Pressure coming from Seacamp, a late inclusion for White. Archer's kicked to half forward. Well played there by Hewitt. Terrific play. tried to back turn through it, I thought in the end. Rigoni's got it. Demons are sharp, aren't they, just for the moment?
They're hard on them. They're attacking the body of the ball carrier. They're winning the ball around the, I suppose, the bounce downs as well. The Roos have only had one takeaway. That's a very good mark.
Important player, Liam Shelley.
Clean hands. They've got very clean hands, that pair on there on Liam Shelley. When it's on the deck, he's able to win purchase of it just with one clean grab.
Simmons, Grgic all over the top of Hewitt. That was poor play because Hewitt was gone.
Had him done, didn't he?
All he had to do was hold his feet and he would have been able to pick up the loose ball and take it away, but you've just got to back off a little bit that time. I mean, even though you don't want your opponent to get free, he'd lost balance in front of him.
McKernan and Archer targets, but didn't get there. Rigoni cuts it off, sits and waits.
He's best man on the ground. Blow the siren, he wins the 3 votes.
Kicks and Melbourne win the match. Bruce Lang, he would have had a very good night, wouldn't he? It is St Patrick's Day. McCartney, kick to centre half forward. Ingerson's got his eyes on it, belts it forward. Bell was in the right spot, has another crack. Handball on the up was okay. Simpson off the side, could be effective. Oh, King loves this, doesn't he? Running hard. 60 metres from goal. Well, he takes Seacamp on, decides not to. Kicked as a beauty right to the point of the square. Hewitt one hand, couldn't quite. Walsh concedes it behind.
He's taking the safe option there, the boy. Just to go back to when the push in the back there was against Grgic. Bruce Dool was the master of that. He used to just play that half step behind and just sum up the situation.
9 years since either Stevens or Carey have played in the Kangaroo team, so it's been a long time.
Isn't it?
Yep.
That is extraordinary.
Kick wide.
Oh, I don't know if he touched that.
And Bell's not sure either. I think he was having a bit of each way, wasn't he?
And it went out.
Not a great kick from Bell. Grgic has got it. Very short. That's what's in front of Seacamp.
He's got Powell on up the middle. Now it's going to open it up again the other way. And he can go back into the centre if he wants. Liam Shelley's there, but he just plays the safe option down the line.
Pickett at the back, McDonald, Lang, still Lang. McDonald will force him to the line. Lang wants the line, doesn't quite get it. Well, McDonald was terrific then, slapped it away to Uze. That's a good kick to the pocket. Farmer, Blakey went early. Can Schwarz keep it in? No.
I reckon he's pretty fortunate. I mean, obviously the Demon boy there was lucky he didn't get contact to the head, but he's pretty fortunate. If that had a hit and hurt...
Coming through with a head of steam, Shannon Grant, wasn't it?
According to the new rule, he might have been in a bit of trouble.
His head was down.
Yep.
McCartney and Schwarz. Schwarz pretty good in these situations normally.
That's a free. Liam Shelley, no eyes for the ball, tried to take Capuano out of the contest. We saw it on the edge of screen there. All bottled up, though.
40 metres from Melbourne's goal.
But you just sense that they're both throwing jabs at the moment, trying to feel each other out and see what pattern of play the other team is going to induct upon them.
Capuano building towards the line. Uze running out of room. Boundary throw in.
Good thing about the Demons, they're pretty well drilled at the moment. A couple of times they could have taken a chance and gone back into the centre or gone across goal, and they played the safe options at the moment. They'll probably open up with a bit of flair in a few minutes' time, but they're just summing up the options at this point in time.
Liam Shelley getting his hands on it a bit, kicks to inside 50. Pickett, Farmer, quick to put some pressure on Bell. That was clever. Back turn was good and then went backwards and then kicks to centre wing. 6 players up at the back. Walsh can use Woden. He's going to go wide to him now. Here's a chance now. Woden can get it because all on his own was McDonald. They've made a meal out of this. A mess of it. Back to Rigoni. Inboard. Simmons about 80 metres out. Pops it up. He wants Cook. It's not going to get there, is it? Pickett underneath it. Martin's handball.
Look at Archer on the wing, all on his own.
And Clayton will kick it to him. It's got him. And then kicks to half forward to Hewitt. Good mark. Kick 3 last week. Looked pretty good.
He has got an opponent at the moment. Glenn Archer has thrown them with the ruckman, with McKernan going forward. There he is on the end of the searching lead.
And McCartney's run all the way from down back, calling it long to the square.
And that's where he's going, and McCartney's going to take it. No, is that a goal?
I reckon he's let it
through. Has it gone through for a goal? It has.
No, he's
behind.
He's missed it.
Gee, did McCartney let that go in the end?
Yeah, he's in one of those positions where you think, well, it's right on the line. Is it going through? And I think if there's any doubt, you've got to take the mark.
Yep, safe option is let you be the one who makes the error by your lack of skills of catching it. Take it on yourself. If you're a league player, catch the thing and get paid the mark. If you drop it, that means you ain't good enough to be out there.
Phoebe's kick. Mark not paid Neats. They need a huge match out of Neats tonight, don't they?
Or 3-on-1 here, the Kangaroos.
Lang's got it. Bill, busy early. 100th match for the Kangaroos tonight. In short, McCartney. Again, big and hard and high. Is Archer underneath it? He is. Good ball from Simmons, who's had a promising start. Scholl can nearly kick this. 52 out. Oh, good kick right to the square to Calthorpe. Mark.
Well, of all the players they've got standing up forward, he's the last one you'd think would take an overhead mark down there, David Calthorpe.
McKernan's throwing the odd spanner in the works because going for the ruck hit out and then coming forward, they're all looking at him come forward. It forces Ingerson to pick up somebody else. We watched the replay there.
Good judgment by Calthorpe there to work Phoebe under the ball.
Goal.
Roos back in front by a couple of points here.
Low possession get a Calthorpe, but if he kicks his 2 or 3 each week and increases his possessions by 7 or 8 and gets up around the mid-teens, it's going to be a very handy pickup for them. It's pretty hard getting possessions when you sit on the bench for a lot of the game, though. He's been used spasmodically. Big pack around the ball here. Look at North Melbourne to the left of screen, just out of screen. Their forwards are all in a line down the spine. The Demons, they're spread-eagled across their forward line. You see Woden break now. Slow to react, Cook further upfield.
Schwarz the target, outnumbered in the end. Martin read it best. And free kickers are going to Schwarz.
Yeah, he had to push back there, but really, Cook should have seen that. It was 90 metres away, the ball. Mick Martin saw it and reacts to playing on the good players, the really good forwards, and went out where he assumed the lead was going to go according to a top-line full forward. Cookie ended up following him. He's got to react earlier.
He is a big kick, Schwarz, and he's let loose. He kicked the goal. Huge kick. That's a thump. Harvey off, as Jason said, Woden with 5 possessions early, giving him some problems. Pike on.
And they've swapped wings. Pike's gone to Uze and Abraham's gone on to Woden.
Capuano over, Simmons that time, Rigoni, King. Woden and Walsh ran into each other. Bell was very good, has a second go, gets a high tackle, no free kick. King weaves his way out. I think it's coming back to Bell.
Got to say that move though. If Abraham is going over onto that wing while Woden's picking up possessions, Abraham's not the kind of bloke to cancel him out of the game.
He's not a defensive player, he's an attacking player.
Perhaps they're thinking that they might play through Abraham if he steers wide of him, and he's going to set it up a little bit better. We watch him square it up here now to Shannon Grant. I'd almost thought Pikey was the bloke to try and quell the fire in him. We look straight down the ground here. Oh, he's almost taken that in.
That was Scholl. He slaps it out. Demons in the right place. Slow was Powell. Took a long time. They might get away. Bruce was good. He was really good. And got to Uze, who runs his full measure. Gives Cook half a chance. Mickey will be too strong. Wasn't a great kick in the end.
He got take the free kick as well, Mickey.
To Pike.
That's how you beat Mick, if you've got space behind him and you can lead back on him. He worries about that one, but the kick was to no advantage.
Grant to Pike. McKernan may be shoved out. Hard ball here. Goalkickers was good. Belts it. He wants the boundary line because Kangas have got the numbers.
He's got it.
What about Cameron Bruce out here a moment ago?
He's got a touch of class. For a kid who's been on a rookie list for 2 years, he's showing a fair bit, isn't he?
He does look very good. Dermot, I want to ask you one question. Corey McKernan, whether or not he got a shove there, he does appear to run under a lot of balls or get caught too far underneath them.
But he does that a lot early in the matches too. He's one of these blokes, I reckon he needs to sight the gun at first shot on the day.
Simpson's kick. Archer went to the ground. Hewitt was at the back. Neats. Archer with him. Grgic almost. Back to Seacamp. Good play in the end. Uze, important player. Sweeping handball to Powell. He's got space.
Gee, they can run here. Have a bounce.
Uses Leoncelli. Who's a long kick. Farmer's a target. At the back. Can the Wiz keep it in? Mickey's after him. The Wiz has kept it in. Martin with him. Then Blakey. Martin's got it.
Mick.
Only as far as Cook. To Schwarz, little one inside. Okay, this will be a goal. Bruce has kicked his second. Danny Frawley and Darren Crocker there. They were heavily involved last night, weren't they? Danny up against Kevin Sheedy, the Tigers. His first season as coach. Good start for Melbourne here now with 4 goals.
I've got to say, I've tipped the Roos tonight. I reckon they're in trouble already. They are not running between the two 50-metre zones. In the fat part of the ground, they are getting no foot speed through that area. And we saw the way the Demons brought that ball forward to get into the forward line last time. They've got plenty of fleet-of-foot players running through there.
Saw the interchange for both teams a moment ago. Schwarz to Bruce. Gee, this rookie.
They'll have to make a change there.
To McDonald.
Here's a big hover coming up. No, it's going to sit on his head.
Farmer underneath it.
He's getting pushed out of the way, Cookie.
Walsh should kick a goal and hooks it back and has. They've got 5.
They're just running the ball forward so well.
Ryan Pagan in the foreground and Brett Harvey behind him.
David King's the man doing the job on Shane Woden now on the far wing. That's his third opponent.
So this is a really good start now for the Demons. They've kicked 5. Kangas to come back. Abraham's handball good. To Pye, to Archer. Comes back in board. Could kick a goal. He's 48 metres out. It's close. It's a good kick. He's got it. Archer kicks the goal. Kangaroos make the change.
Lang off. And Brent Harvey comes back on. They just need foot speed through the middle here. They won that through hard work through the middle here. That was just bodily pressure forward.
And look at the difference already, Abraham going forward. He's much better running forward with the ball than acting in a defensive role. And Glenn Archer, the acting captain tonight, well, that was the captain's goal because they needed that to get back in the match.
He just took it on himself to dance around one or two of them. Capuano needs to find somebody underneath him. They need first possession of it out of the centre because they're not covering the same amount of ground when the ball's in motion.
Back to 10 points, 5 goals to 3-2. Simmons early. Rigoni, Archer in the centre square. Woden went to ground. Abraham with him. Woden slaps it back. No free kick. Archer emerges, kicks the ball forward. McKernan, no free kick. Towards the pocket with Cowthorpe. But what's the tempo like down there?
Yeah, sensational. Obviously, the momentum is with the Demons, but the Kangaroos are certainly picking up the tempo as well. But one guy, a centre-half forward, Schwarz, he's been in everything. He's leading, tackling, his voice level on the ground is just fantastic.
I'd almost be tempted to move Cookie off already. Say to him, we'll wait for the tempo to get it out of the game. Get somebody on the ground who can run Mick Martin around. He's killing it for a team that's kicked 5.
Cowthorpe up and under a bit. Towards the pocket. Neats had a fresh air, didn't get it. Cowthorpe had a second go. Rigoni runs him over. Just a really important period here, isn't it? Because Melbourne have made a bit of a statement early, but you can feel that if the Kangaroos get one now, they may even lead at quarter time.
Yeah, there's just points in it then. And they've had to play, well, literally just a fraction above themselves, the Demons, to be where they are.
I think that ball might have gone out of play from the bounce. Right forward pocket, or they're going to bounce again? I think a rebound. So the bounce probably went out of place. So a rebounce here. McKernan, and he's squeezed a point.
That's a good effort. He's got something from nothing there.
It's kick 1-2 McKernan. So scoring shots to 5, 30 plays 21.
Let's have a look at their zone they set up. That's what he has to penetrate.
And you can see Jason McCartney, centre-backs, come up and stood in the middle of the ground, and his opponent, David Schwarz, is right out on the far flank.
As we look at it, McCartney's almost in the circle.
The half-back line for the Kangaroos has come up across the wing.
Wide. Schwarz got involved too, Jason. Clayton with a chance to bang it back in, and he does. The half forward, about 45 metres from goal. Scholl had a fair go. Seacamp can't get the handball away. Scholl's tackle was good. Hewitt back, spinning and weaving was Grant. The kick to the pocket, just a fraction for Harvey, was wonderful to Cowthorpe, who could have run in, I think. He's missed.
I reckon the situation that occurs there is Cowthorpe hasn't had a lot of ground time, but he's kicked a few quick goals. We look at Grgic on the deck.
Got one in the jazz, I think. And he's given the old proverbial, oh, geez, you wouldn't believe where I've been hit. It's that little pain that doesn't go away for a couple of minutes.
The people who cop him in that region out on the MCG normally are looking at Curtly Ambrose with a red pill in his hand running in at them. We have a look down the ground again. The weighted numbers is moving to the right of screen, and that's the way that Phoebe goes.
Wants a big mark. He got it from Mingerson. Oh, put his man under a bit of pressure.
Oh, good hands.
Yep, Leoncelli gets it from Rigoni and then kicks to half forward. Uze was third in line. Oh, clever. I think he certainly
brilliant vision. Look at the square. He's all clear in the square. All he's got to do is chip it.
He won't.
Chip it.
He won't.
He'll kick a goal.
Oh, gee, I'm glad he kicked it. I am so glad he kicked it.
Uze was really smart, wasn't
That was good. I reckon he meant that.
He did mean it, but he saw it at the last moment, Dermot. So all he did was, instead of following through with the kick, he just kicked it sideways. There we see it trickling along, but at this stage, right there is a Demons player all on his own in the square. And I tell you what, if David Schwarz didn't kick it,
James
McDonald was. Now, by the time the goal was kicked, Pickett had got back on him, but he was 25 metres on his own. And if they didn't kick a goal there, it would have been criminal.
I called, though. I said he won't kick it to him, but the good thing about it was that Schwarz was never going to do anything but make the goals his target. So there was always going to be a score come up. He was going to do anything to get around him.
Well, 6 goals now to 3-4. They're all handy, and Powell from the centre, gang tackled in the end. Still the winning at Rigoni. He's had that big first term. Bangs to centre half forward. A bit of a wrestle. Free kick to Kangaroos. Cook acting up in the end. He's got to get his hands on it, doesn't he, Cookie?
Yep.
Bell to Archer. Push.
Do you remember the days you never used to get paid for them?
That was only you, Dermot.
Yeah, thanks, Jase.
Pike on the burst. Good long kick to full forward. A bit of a shove from Cowthorpe, overrunning at Simmons. Also under pressure, Grgic. Demons still some numbers. Simmons was looking for Woden. He's got him wide. Ingerson's on his own. He'll go to Neats. Confident footy out of the back. Neats to go on. Little chip. Okay. Rigoni and everything. Seacamp through the centre. 2 half forward. Bruce setting himself. Used his body well. Here's Cook with a chance. Now he's got McDonald inside. Can have a shot. It's a good kick. It's a goal. He's got it. It's another one. They've got 7.
Well, hopefully that takes Cookie's confidence up and he can find his hands working in tandem now.
This is extraordinary conversion at the moment. 7 straight goals. I mean, you can just see it after getting a good start. The Demons have all got their confidence up. That was a good, strong lead. He just kept attacking the ball. They all sat off him, and we know he's got good range. Once he saw the big sticks, he said, well, why not? There was no one free. I'll have a ping.
You can tell that he's just a touch out of confidence because, really, like if that was the big fella Schwarz, he would have turned and thought, goals, where are they? I'll kick them, and been definite about it. Cookie had to sum it up. There was a 1.5 seconds in there, I reckon, where he's said to himself, who's on offer? Goals were there eventually.
Well, a big start now, and Rigoni's played some sort of a quarter. Trying to get, he's gone that time. You know, quarter time last week, West Coast was 6 goals without a miss, Jason. 6 without a miss, and the Kangaroos were 3-4. At the moment, it's 7 without a miss and 3-4. So history's repeating itself in the space of a week for the Kangaroos in the early part of this season. They want to get one back. Wide handball, ineffective. Grant, disappointed. Walsh, Grgic, good stuff. Rigoni, quarter. Long kick too. Brute, oh, good mark.
Held his ground well, David King.
Without a boot now. To Bell.
Archer on his own in the middle.
Bit far for him.
That's his second miss by foot.
Pickett got it from Archer. Finds some space. Good
Great
kick.
hit. That is a brilliant piece of work, that delivery from Pickett. He just ducked back onto the left foot and drilled it in low to the leading McKernan. And that's where he's got to try and take his marks, in that centre corridor. I mean, even if they're 50 metres out, he's always in range. Just a good kick there. I mean, there's not much that David Needs can do about that.
A little bit of a concern, Peter Bell. We saw him go forward before by foot and he turned it over. He does kick the helicopters. They go right to left. And 6 kicks. He's missed the mark with 2 very easy ones that weren't under pressure. You'd assume you'd normally get them.
Good view of what McKernan's got in front of him. He'll kick from about 52. And a big hook.
You could just see the big lean, the angle of his body at point of impact. He was leaning way left, and what happens is you drag it left once you do that.
He's kicked 1 free, McKernan. So at one end, they haven't missed, have they? And the other end, they've kicked 3 out of 8.
No, you need your guns to kick those 2. Here we have the view again. He's just going to change the pace down a little bit.
Just a bit of a change down in the forward line for the Demons, and Martin's gone on to David Schwarz.
Martin involved there. Clayton, some indecision from the Kangaroos. You don't see that too often. Woden gets it to Rigoni. Good kick to Powell. So they've looked dangerous, haven't they, on the burst against the Kangas. Back to Woden.
He's killing him, Woden.
Out wide. Pickett with courage. Didn't take the mark. Cook. Pike, rather Uze Pike. Then Pickett. Walsh caught underneath your background here. Good mark. Had a sit.
just got to go back to that one with Cook. He's got to do the right thing by the team. If that was the role reversal there, Byron Pickett would have just got there a fraction late, put the arms up and made out he was catching the ball and filled him in. For the team aspect, he's got to pay back past sins.
Hewitt at about 7. He kicks his boot off and goes to centre half forward. Wowo misses, and Bill's going to kick it as he... No, misses.
Come on, mate, give us the stats. How many blokes have lost their boots tonight?
2.
Young Brad Green coming on for his first run tonight. Now, this is the bloke that we know is
could have
pretty
played
handy, pretty gifted
cricket.
sort of sportsman, isn't he?
Apparently tried out with Manchester United in soccer, and also very good cricketer.
Gee, I hope he's made the right choice. There's a bit of money in the other two.
Phoebe now, 3, 6 to 7 goals. He's had a few kick-outs.
They'll go to the side. The ruckman goes.
Neats and Simmons there against McKernan. Pickett.
Oh, look at the acceleration.
And then just goes to the front of the square. Just took a long time to get to Grant, didn't it?
Yeah. 2 errors there by the boy Simmons. I've enjoyed the way he's run around, but he dropped the first one. He should have caught that. Went high with the second tackle. 5 minutes ago, in the goal square, defensive goal square, he let the ball roll past him. Never let the ball go past you, son. You'll learn that absolutely to the letter soon.
Calthorpe, Grgic, now Abraham. Good tackle by Walsh to bring him down. Phoebe, a hot ball to be won. Grgic emerges. Floats it long, awkward kick underneath Capuano, stood his ground, took the mark.
Mick's peeled off, he hasn't seen him.
Goes to the centre half forward. Oh, Simmons went early, free kick to the Kangaroos.
He has played it.
Against Simmons, I think. Hewitt's got it.
He's looked dangerous up forward, Hewitt. I think they really should be trying to isolate him and get him into the game a bit more.
But they just don't do that. They played the team plan here. We watch him. Yeah, he's made a few errors, the kid. He's having a go and he's running around, but he's making too many errors for my liking at the moment. He's a bit of a danger, a liability down back.
Lop on Pickett.
So can Hewitt improve the conversion rate? 48 metres out.
That doesn't look that good.
To the post.
See, on the impact, I reckon even though we're meant to be side on to him, I reckon his chest was virtually pointing at us, side on. The thing is though, like we talk about that, if you can isolate him, Jace, they're so well drilled, the Kangaroos, they're used to just going long to the Carey-McKernan contest.
Yep.
We see the short kick come
and then
out
getting the numbers there.
Yeah, and they're so well drilled doing it, it's hard to get out of that habit.
Bruce goes to ground. King, not much time left. Can the Kangaroos get a late one? Centre and kick good. The goal, he's got it.
Well, if he wanted one bloke in the team to have a shot for a late one, Bruce, this is the fella you'd want from the Kangaroos. Well, can't get later than that.
That's it.
It's an important kick, this.
Yeah, just to tighten it up to a 2-goal game, isn't it?
I think Neil Danaher will feel cheated if he kicks this because they deserve to have a decent margin, not just 11 points if he does kick it.
50 metres out. Has he got it?
Pushed it right.
He might have missed, I think. He has.
They got problems, the Roos.
7 goals to 3-8. There's Shoal and
Seacamp just telling him what he thought of the kick, I think, Brent.
And I think he knows that Marcus has been known to swing one in that situation, so he backs off pretty quick.
So 16-point margin. They trailed by 14 last week against West Coast, and it was 6 goals straight West Coast, Melbourne 7. Gee, there's a lot of big sport happening on 7. Welcome back. So promising start for the underdog here. The Demons with 7 straight goals. Schwarz and Bruce getting a couple each. And the Kangaroos missing a few easy ones towards the end at 3-8. So it's 42-26. Well, Graham McMahon was on last night at half-time, the chairman of Essendon, and he talked about the fact that the Bombers weren't going in with the Bulldogs, Hawthorn, Carlton and Collingwood on the internet. The internet's been all over the pages in Melbourne today, and Ian Johnson, the Vice President of the Melbourne Football Club, had this to say at tonight's dinner.
I mean, there is not one AFL Football Club president who has a real qualified knowledge of what the internet's all about. And I have a little bit of an inkling, but I know virtually nothing. I've got a feeling I know a bit more than some of the others, but we cannot do any good out of the internet if we're all divided.
So some solidarity there as we go down to Anthony Hudson with Tony Elshaw.
Your assessment, Tony?
Well, they've definitely grabbed their opportunities. It feels like deja vu from last week where they've scored 7 goals from 12 side shots inside 50, 12 times inside 50. We haven't made the most of our opportunities, and probably our kick hasn't been flashed today. We're in the contest.
They've been running it well out of defence, haven't they?
Yeah, they have, but the pressure's been good. We're pleased with the contest.
Thanks, Tony.
Tony Elshaw, they're the development coach at the Kangaroos.
He made a very important point, Bruce. He said we're in the contest. Last week they probably weren't. This week they are. They've just kicked poorly. 3-8. They've had more scoring shots.
I love the little bit of advice. If you had to listen very carefully to the little old biddy just on the fence there, don't worry about it, Tony. They'll be all right. Magnificent, some of the bits of advice you get from the people over the fence. There's Arch. He actually did well.
He was good late.
He did well. Yep. You know he's never, ever going to dud you in any way. He's going to give you 100%.
Look at the spy camera. Martin Pike's gone on to Shane Woden and had 9 possessions first quarter. Now, Dermot, they run in off the wing. They're 15 metres apart. I mean, the bloke's cutting them up. Why wouldn't you play right on him?
And while he runs defensive side of the centre, the Deem's kicking to the left-hand side of screen. He'll run to the right-hand side of that centre circle. Sweep it.
So Melbourne through Leoncelli. Simpson took it off him. And a ball. Rigoni was excellent in the first term, had 11 kicks.
He's got one of those tough little bodies, Rigoni, hasn't he? He's not scared to get the knees dirty, the bit of dirt on the shoulders, and just rip in and burrow and get a bit of mud on the face. He'll have a go, and he travels over the ground pretty quickly as well.
Capuano has a second go. Pike, Woden, Rigoni built it off it. Abraham. Little kick by Powell, okay, pushes forward. Cameron Bruce took it well, can't get it away. Schwarz and Martin still. Schwarz bursting through and then goes for the big hook and misses the line.
I tell you what, the big left-handed fan didn't look good as he was charged through there.
You know what I call that, Bung? The don't argue. It's the nightclub bounce that don't argue. It's the big open palmer into the chest.
And you've had a few of those, buddy, haven't you?
Yep, too true.
How are you going down there, Dipper? All
Yeah,
right?
very good game, this one by Melbourne at the moment. But Schwarz is just, his voice level, boys, is just fantastic.
Clayton, so's Dermot's, by the way. I'm sitting right alongside him.
Ooh, wow. He has nearly kicked his head off.
Simpson to get it.
Nothing wrong with those. I mean, they're dangerous.
What?
No, according to the rules, if you make a go at the ball and doesn't put the wind up the opposition.
Oh.
According to the rules.
Motlopper came off. Hewitt, Seacamp dropped it in the end. Boundary throw.
I tell you what, Dermot, it might be legal, but if he had have connected, he would have dead set put him into orbit.
I've got to say, though, it puts the wind up the opposition and the rules allow for you to take a hack at the ball, use it to your advantage. He was trying to kick the ball.
Powell's handball.
Oh, great feed from Rigoni.
He's held that off a couple of times like that tonight.
Just hung on to it, didn't he? It was really good. Good mark, Cameron Bruce.
Cook, he's got to do something here. He's got a lot of space around him.
Kick to Cook. Got him.
He does go wide, though, doesn't he? He took him up on a straight line towards the kicker, Cameron Bruce, and McCartney followed him out, and after about 5 or 6 paces, we'll see it here, see, and then he breaks there. See, he goes left there, and McCartney was ready to follow him out on that straight line, broke out to the left, and that's what did McCartney for the 4 or 5 moves, but puts him on the hard angle.
We've seen Cameron Bruce how good he is. David King probably needs to adjust his game a little bit. They're so used to zoning off the Kangaroo defence, but under pressure, they need to man up, and he's sitting off Bruce. He got caught out that time.
Take a good kick. He might have done it. He's kicked 2 out of 2.
8 straight.
How difficult from that pocket to kick goals? I mean, he's just drilled it there. He made it look easy. Is that a really tough pocket?
Look, it's a tough angle to kick from, but you can get the ball to turn left to right from that pocket quite often. That's what he's done. If you actually have a look at the ball floating in the air, he's kicked it a little bit off the instep, and it's just turned left to right.
I reckon it's a bit of it feels like a downhill kick from that pocket as well, and you always feel like you got the distance, so you can just poke it through with a bit of a stab and get the direction right. You've got to say though, the Kangaroos haven't got a great deal of confidence to run forward. We're getting no run through there. A very unhappy chairman there, Ron Casey. They've got no confidence to take it on themselves and run forward of the ball and make play. They're very static when they go forward, mark and kick stuff all the way.
Capuano to half forward. 5 men must have been in the centre for the Demons. Burl was searching for a high tackle, didn't get it.
I'll tell you what, if there's one thing coaches don't tolerate, it's centre square infringement. It's hard enough winning the ball, you don't give it to the opposition to start things off. And it's more often than not the fellow that does it gets a message from the runner.
Simmons forces it away. Scholl back to Bell, who's had a lot of it so far. Just maybe...
He'll unload from here, eh, Brent?
Yep, he's a chance. In fact, he's better than a good chance. He's a really good chance.
He's kicked it.
Good call, Bruce.
Gee, Woden and Pike continuing to play the odds. They're 20 metres apart.
Pikey, I reckon, is insulted here. He doesn't want to have to go and pick him up, stand on him.
Capuano winning it. It's going to be very important. Pike now. Free kick coming back to Capuano. Advantage given. Going forward, Bell to full forward. Oh, McKernan almost. Walsh with Abraham and Motlop. Cowthorpe keeping it in. Clever. To Grant.
Running
to Abraham. He'll kick this one too. No, missed. Thought he had it. Missed nearly everything, didn't he?
I tell you what, I'm just watching Shannon Grant, just out of screen, run back past him. And with the bobbing of the head from behind, I reckon he's given him a spray. Yeah, he's given him a real spray there. They're not a cohesive unit here tonight.
He had three options, Winston Abraham. He could have given the handball back, he could have teed off from where he was, which he did, or he could have accelerated and run in towards goal, which I think he probably should have done.
Have a look at this, the zone. I'm counting them. There are 15 Kangaroos players in this zone. There's
the whole back line has come up.
Mick Martin standing in the centre circle, and that's it. Well done, Woden. Able to hold that win. That's a pretty tough zone to penetrate, and they should move it all the way now.
McDonald has to work hard here. Pickett was with him. Well played. Liancelli's handball to McDonald. To Woden, who's been terrific. Kick in board to Simmons. Got it. No, didn't take it. Has to get it now. Handball, Rigoni. OK. Rigoni belts to full forward. Blakey front spot's been pretty quiet. Did well. Archer's pick-up was fantastic. Back to Blakey. Good stuff. On the burst. Grant with a chance. Clayton inside. One. Doesn't go for a second bounce. Decides to kick it hard and high. Ingerson doesn't take the mark. Walsh bursts away for the Demons.
Good chase by Craig Scholl.
Clayton kicks to Abraham. Got him.
Well, if he kicks this goal, he can thank Craig Scholl, because Walsh was bursting out of the back line and Scholl, just a lunging dive, just pushed him off balance as he kicked it, and he drilled it straight to the Kangaroos player.
The first paw kick that came in. Yeah, that's great stuff. That's great stuff there. The first paw kick that came in, and I'm not casting any aspersions here or whatever, but that's Wayne Carey, what he does to the team. They went for a drill kick there. They kicked it to the corridor when a couple of blokes have led, but they're so well drilled in the past.
You mentioned set shots with this fellow, Dan.
Yeah, well, he's had a couple on the run.
Oh, no.
And...
Oh, that is hit. Landed on top of the goalpost.
Yep. You just see he doesn't flow through it like he does on the run. As you picked up, he's on a sprint, he evens up.
This is the perfect angle to watch the kick, because he ran right where he kicked it. Yep. He ran to the right post, he kicked it at the right post.
You don't see that very often at all.
The 15-man zone here for the Roos.
Have a look at the Demons full forward, James Cook, all on his own at the other end.
50
Nobody
from
within
the nearest.
Yep. He is just very lonely.
Good handball in board to Archer. To McKernan, fancies himself, 70 metres out. Point.
Distance wasn't a problem.
4-11 to 8 goals.
Yeah. No, he really needs to kick those, doesn't he? I mean, the set shots, especially in the first quarter. What we see here with the zone, because there's 15 men in the zone, they have to work back. One forward, McKernan. If they can get a secondary possession here with fluency, they'll go all the way. But they're breaking down. Here we go. Now, this should be just open and on for everybody here for the Demons.
The Demons forwards.
Cookies come up the middle.
Great pass, great lead.
Oh, clutch them, son.
Oh,
free kick.
He should have held him on.
He's got a free kick. Went to ground. I think maybe Blakey
clipped accidentally.
Clipped him or something.
Yep.
Bit of a roar from the crowd. They saw the replay on the screen, and there was obviously a bit in it.
Oh, yeah, that can hurt.
It did hurt.
Yeah, that reminds me of something, Jason.
Thank you to Dipper. A fractured skull for me. Thank you very much, courtesy of you. But I think he just saw the legs right in front of him. He just momentarily took his eye off the ball, and that's why he dropped the mark.
Gee, he looks lean, doesn't he?
He's worked very hard the pre-season. Very hard.
I was just reminded a moment ago that Jeff Arman is out there tonight because he handed the ball to Cookie. Now they're kicking goals and
hasn't touched it.
Yep. And the runner's just come out to him, as you've mentioned.
Have a spell.
Yeah, they'll work him back on. I'll try and get a match-up for him, get his confidence
John Blakey has done a sensational job on him.
Dipper?
Yes, I was going to mention Farmer before. He's been trying to work in the game, on the ball, around the pocket, but Blakey's just covered him fantastically tonight.
And Cook unloading and unloading it very strongly. and hooking at the last minute. Yeah, I said a moment ago I hadn't seen much of Blakey, but boy, he has
done the job, hasn't he?
Done the job all right.
We have a look at the zone. We'll get the shot of it in a second. 13 men in the Melbourne Demon zone, as opposed to the North Melbourne Kangaroos 15-man zone.
Just slipped through Simmons' hands, and Simpson able to take advantage of it, and they're down the other end, the Kangaroos in a hurry. Walsh's toe poke okay. There's a free kick coming back to Melbourne to Seacamp.
One thing I'd say about that, because there's 2 less in the zone, that's close. Good hands by Lancelli. Because there's 2 less in the zone, there's 2 men further back up the ground, so they're a chance to repel the secondary possession coming through. Whereas with the Demons, if they can penetrate that kick-in zone, they're a chance to run it all the way.
Simmons off, Nicholson on.
Oh, far side, if he squares it up, they've got loose players out there.
Lancelli's going to be a hot ball now. Pushing forward, Lucky. McDonald's got it just outside 50. He's got players running everywhere. He's hooked it out wide to Grgic. Got him. It's a long way from home though, isn't he? He's out wide and deep.
You know, James Cook did a very smart thing then. When James McDonald had the ball, he half led to the other side, but his arm was pointing way out there, and I think he was, you can just see the arm there. Go. He's pointing to the loose player out wide.
Either that or Cookie wanted it and he didn't see Grgic. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Good play, Cookie. Well done.
So this is tougher for him than Cook. He's not the goal kicker that Cook is, and he's a bit further out. The angle's better, but this takes a really good kick from here.
He does get them to spin pretty slowly. He gets a fairly good ride on them. Having said that, he'll probably fluff this.
No, it's a good kick.
Yep, slow spin. Goal. Good goal. He's got some talent, this boy.
Dennis Pagan, Mark Dawson up there tonight. And
interesting time to change your ruckman, Bruce.
Flood rule, Jace.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So he's got time to run out there into the square.
Capuano had to come off.
Big Spider Burton loping onto the field.
It's his first run.
He's just got a small cut in his hand, boys, and just got plenty of blood on his jumper. That's why he's come off. He won't be long.
Dipper, you could never play good unless we actually cut you. We had to give him a slap around the chops to actually make him feel like playing.
Don't say anything, Dip. It's not worth it. Burton's against Nicholson. Nicholson didn't get part of it. Bell to Grant. Grant's off. Kicks the ball back inside. Ingerson's got it. Melbourne have been good, but they might be in trouble here. They go back to Ingerson. That's got to be accurate. It is.
Hey, their tails are up. The D's tails are up, and the Roos are flat.
So Seacamp at half-back. Goes wide to centre wing. Pushed underneath at McDonald. Burton and Nicholson.
He ran around it circling. He circled it like a cat circling his rug before he goes to sit down.
Cut it out, I'm going to laugh. Clayton's kicked a half forward, and Archer front spot. Ball up.
I mean, even though it's a 20-point lead to the Demons, and they are playing very confidently, let's not forget that the Roos have had 5 extra scoring shots.
What's more, the big fella?
The handball went behind him and he just couldn't react quick enough.
No, just not enough muscle on that frame to turn it quickly enough, was there?
Simpson, close to the line, still in play, Cowthorpe. Back to Scholl. Scholl gets it just inside 50, free kick surely. It's coming back. And Simpson's got it. So where does the spark come from for the Kangaroos?
They've got. Don't worry about someone like Archer giving it to them up forward or whatever. Here we watch Simpson come in. I'll tell you in a second, Bruce. He's just gone for the long bomb here.
Oh!
Winnie! In the back.
Against Winnie.
Now that is the kind of thing you take a bloke off for a minute and say, that's an ego trip. Alan Jones used to say that, Jace. He said that.
Winston
Abraham, that is an ego trip. He could never get it, just on the chance that he might get it. He's gone on the ego trip to catch the mark of the season there. The team thing was to stay down if he's not in range, or just legitimately go for the mark. Forget the 50 metres.
And then the problem was compounded by Martin Pike.
Yep, but the thing is, they've got no spark in the middle. Someone like Archer's going to give it for you in the back line. Someone like Mick Martin is going to try all day in the back line as well. Sorry, Archer's playing forward. They've just got no spark on the move through the middle.
To full forward. Oh, nearly. Big fly from Robertson at the back. Grant getting back with Cook towards the line. Boundary throw in.
I reckon he's knocked the wind out of himself too. Have a look at him. He's just breathing a little bit hard. He's landed flat on the back. It was a big leap. Pushed Blakey out.
Ooh,
landed solid straight through the hand. Would have been a classic grab. Ouch.
He's up and can have another crack. Schwarz at the back was okay. Melbourne keep it there. Goal here would sting, wouldn't it? Because at the other end, Kangaroos look promising.
Gee, that had shades of Sean Smith about it, that one, did it, the way he landed?
So Hewitt off and McCartney coming back on. And the Kangas are flat. Burton, Mickey's missed it. Schwarz with a chance. He's very strong. Handball out. Bruce should kick his third. He's got it. 3 to Bruce.
He just gets around, doesn't he?
Andy Collins there from St Kilda. So 10-1 to 4-11. It's a funny old scoreline, isn't it? 11 shots to 15, and the Demons are nearly 5 goals in front, and the Kangas need the next one. Bell bangs to centre half forward. Abraham doesn't fly at all, and Neeks takes the mark. Plays on the Grgic. Hadley and Chelly short. Just sprayed it a bit and may have wasted it to centre wing. Clayton, second go. Back to Bell, who's been really busy. Bell's kicked to centre half forward. Held his ground in the front, Ingerson.
Good charge.
Motlop pushing forward. Walsh held his ground too. Motlop, little give was good. To Harvey. Harvey's kick not coming back up behind.
I'll tell you a very interesting statistic, Bruce. Even though we have a 26-point margin to the Demons, the Kangaroos have gone inside their 50 30 times to the Demons 20. And they have scored 11 times, 10 goals. So that's a 50% conversion rate inside 50. That's unbelievable.
They're going in with the same pattern they do when Wayne Carey's up there. Their blokes aren't Wayne Carey in there now, so they can't play the same game.
Paul Wheatley gets his first run. I think Ingerson's off.
Yep.
Leoncelli.
Look at the run.
To Powell. Wide to McDonald. Got it. They're playing confidently. Now, Wheatley may get a touch here. No. He's number 31, by the way. Good kick inside. That's a terrific kick to Uze, who's a beautiful kick. Oh, good stuff.
Hey, Bung, you wouldn't mind at that. You'd copy in on the end of that, wouldn't you?
I'll tell you right now, it was a very good lead from Cook too. It was only a short one.
But he wrong-footed him.
Lang was playing in front of him. And I don't know if we'll get to see it here, but Lang is playing in front of him, and what he has to do at one stage is just take his eye off him to look where the ball is. And as soon as he did that, he ducked back and he had 5 yards.
Well, the sway of the ball was going towards the Great Southern Stand side, wasn't it? And Lang protected that side, played to the inside of Cook. Cook motioned he was going to go that way, doubled back, and Uze, being the left footer, swung onto that. His open chest to this side, Cook went there.
Should kick third, he's got it.
Now his confidence is up, Bruce.
So how serious is this now? 67 to 36.
I'll tell you what, as we speak, Bruce, Glenn Archer's got the job back on James Cook. Adam Lang's gone forward.
Harvey, Pipe went without it. Signs are just not good, are they? Nicholson to Powell, to Bruce. Just pushing forward, they've got numbers again. Schwarz paves away, good kick. Inside, terrific stuff. Leoncelli almost had a chance to go on.
Oh, go back and kick it.
And goes very wide.
Go back and kick the goal.
Cook, taken high. Free kick.
You get the feeling that Glenn might be a little bit angry the way things are going out there.
Cookie's given a wink, Jace. He's got up and given the wink.
Attacked him then.
Yeah, he's going to make someone hurt, Arch.
Oh, he is angry. Have a look at the aggression that he comes in with. Look at the snarl on the face. He wanted to turn him into sawdust then.
Talking of cooking, he wanted to make him into a Mornay, didn't he? Just wanted to make him just a big bowl of soup there.
Gee, this would be nearly one of the nails in the coffin if he kicks this. The margin is ever increasing.
Notice that his kicks tonight haven't been swinging. He's been kicking them, he's been punching them low and straight. And if he gets this online, we'll have a great view from behind here. That's there.
It's fading.
To goal. He's got it. He's got 4.
I told you, they're not swinging. They're going dead straight.
Well, it might have swung, but it drifted a little bit. That was about a coat of paint off the right-hand goalpost. But this is unbelievable. 12 goals won. And as Tony Elshaw said at quarter time, it's a feeling of deja vu. The Eagles did it to them. And now the Demons are doing it to him. Just went in, look, the aggression, the attack on the ball was tremendous. He just went in a little bit too high, but that's the way to finish off your opportunities.
We'll get the shot up on screen in a second of Martin Pike and Woden. Now, this is the attention to the detail that's set by the coaching staff. Now, they're in trouble, and there's no doubt he would have been told to go out there and play against Woden. And have a look what he's doing. That is just disregard for the team rules. Dennis Pagan doesn't like it when blokes play that far apart. And we know that Pikey had a bit of trouble during the week in their off-field stuff. He's a disagreement somewhere.
12-1 to 4-12. Remember, West Coast kicked 11 goals in the second quarter last week against the Kangas. Well, it's not quite that.
Open goal square.
Motlop's going to go for it.
He has to.
And
See, that's just the difference at the moment. They're going into the 50 so often and they're not kicking goals.
What's happening down on the bench, Tipper?
Yeah, the bench has been used in and out all nights and nights, about 15 times by either side, but only one player hasn't taken the park yet, and that's Ryan Pagan. I'm sure he'll get his chance very shortly.
Tipper, do you feel the same? It's the same Kangaroos as last week that you're feeling?
Very flat at the moment, the Kangaroos. I just think the pace of Melbourne at the moment and the way they're using the ball, the Demons, have been fantastic, and that's why they're in front at the moment.
I've got to say, they just don't look just solid with Mick Martin away from the full-back position. Even though they might need him up there on Schwarz, they just look a better team with him in the regular spot.
Grgic to centre wing.
He went under it again, McKernan doing it.
Yep. Neat starting to get plenty.
They can start dictating. I reckon I'd like to see Neats go forward.
Oh, have a look at this.
Uze, who's a beautiful kick. He's in trouble. Backs back. Uses the handball. Rigoni, the 1-2. Uze got around. Back to Rigoni. Rigoni gets terrific distance right to the goal square. Woden at the back. Cook brings it back in play. Bruce off the ground. Couldn't quite. They may concede. No, Kingy won't. And kicks to Pickett. Half and half here though. Too far. Comes back. That's the first game. Wheatley back in board. Ball still to be won. Belted away. Blakey underneath. Hands were good. And now Harvey's away.
Done pretty well there. They had numbers in the corridor, the Roos, and they take it away there. This is where they're falling over. They're just so used to drilling the long kick right up the middle to the Carey contest. He's not there. It's getting turned around. Oh, that's a great barge and a half.
Seacamp then unloads to half forward. Schwarz front spot. Archer's left-hand handball to Bell. Bell has had 18 posse so far. Harvey went without. Uze's little kick. Pickett missed it. Gee, things are happening to the Kangaroos that haven't happened for ages. Woden gets it from Leachilli and misses.
I'll tell you what, at the moment, the Demons have only had about an extra 10 possessions team-wise. I mean, we're saying that the Roos are down. As you just see him putting the head down and going straight forward. It is purely and simply the skills. They're missing targets, the Kangaroos. They're missing goals. That's what's hurting them. They're right in the game, though.
Bruce, you picked up Byron Pickett.
Just three
possessions, and he's so good. He just takes on the opposition deep in defence and sets it up. There he is. He's going to add to it now.
Look at that. David King's nearly missed him with the kick out. And he missed his target here a moment ago. They're just not hitting the targets.
Oh, well, this one will. Lucky it was a handball to Mick. They're playing the paddock here.
Yep.
At the back, Seacamp. Abraham. Free kick, I think, to the Kangas.
He did that very, very well. The ball was right there in front of him, but he didn't take possession. He just ran along behind it and let the player grab him before he actually then grabbed the ball.
Well, you'd think for the Kangas to win this match tonight, they've got to get 2 goals in the last 5 minutes of this half.
No doubt. I reckon they'd probably say minimum.
Double the score at the moment, 74-37.
He had trouble with his last set shot. Now he's going to have to follow through from here because he is 50 out. He's a thumping kick. But if ever they needed a goal, do they need this?
Shoal off, Hewitt back on.
Sometimes the further out the better, isn't it, for some players?
That's dropping short.
Not quite going to get there. Burton's big fly, had a little bit of it. Surely they'll concede, they do. It's
free kick. Too high.
Too high.
He's just gone under the armpit there of Big Spider, which isn't that difficult to
do.
Danger!
Oh, great mark.
When he's got it.
This is brilliant.
And kicks it. And dumped afterwards. Kicks the goal. So at long last they get one, the Kangas. 5-13 to 12-2.
Power. Farmer back on into the forward line and he's pushed McDonald onto the ball.
So let's see what happens in the last 4 minutes of what's been a very entertaining first half. McDonald to half forward and he gets it, Jeffrey.
Touched off the boot.
And quickly does play on. 1-on-1 at full forward. Cook versus Archer. Bouncing ball. It'll probably go out of play. It does.
He's not going to get too much space down there with Glenn Archer now. I think he's in a very angry mood. And I think he might have got a poke in the eye there. He's just giving it a little bit of a rub.
The one thing about Arch is that he plays from the side, and whereas Mick, when he plays there, he plays in front of his opponent and the leads go out on a 45-degree angle. Arch will let you lead up the centre and try and chase you down. That's danger. Yeah, Arch will chase you down from behind on the lead. We'll have a look at Arch again.
Just see where he gets this one. Oh, there's the left hand comes back and just drags across the eye. Nothing malicious in that.
Nothing wrong with that.
Burton and Schwarz. Burton with a huge height advantage. Well read though by McDonald. And then gets free and then kicks a goal.
It's home.
Can you believe that one? Boy,
Well, that is, they've got no one to blame but themselves. That's poor defence. He broke through 2 tackles, and in particular, after his initial momentum had been stopped, have a look at the tackle from Spider Burton. He gets through the first one from Simpson. I mean, that's weak.
You know what? I reckon Spider's gone easy on that because of the high tackle at the other end.
Yep.
And the kids come underneath him, and he thought, well, don't give away a free kick this point of the ground. I tell you what, this is a completely different attitude.
Little kiss on the side of the head from David Schwarz too. He appreciated it.
Bit of Murph Hughes out there.
In 2 weeks of footy, the Kangaroos have had 30 goals kicked against them in the first half. They had 17 last week, and they've had 13 tonight.
But at extraordinary conversion rates too.
True, yeah, 17-4 West Coast were, and it's 13-2 at the moment.
Demons finished full of running last week, even though they got pipped by the Tigers, and they're running very well through the middle of the ground tonight.
And Farmer's had 2 kicks, which will help him before half-time. Martin takes the mark on Schwarz.
Everybody's up. McKernan has to be the target here.
Spider Burton.
Went early, did Neats. Pike onto it, and that was a low percentage in the end, wasn't it? On the burst, and had real trouble bringing it back.
Look, league players make less errors than, your park footballer, but under pressure, the pure cream of league players are able to get those ones back into the corridor or even score a goal from them. And that's why we see Pikey, who's middle of the ladder.
He's had a bit of the ball, Pike. He's had 8 possessions since he came onto Woden, who, speak of the devil, has the ball again, but he just hasn't really had an impact.
Woden has been very good throughout. Martin, Schwarz brings him down. Play on called. Schwarz gets it out. Little toe poke by King. Oh, that was an important ball. McDonald couldn't quite pick it. Was good and got a handball away. And then King bursts away. Gets some space. Then kicks to centre wing. Haven't seen much of McKernan. Nicholson still with it, and then goes towards the line. That was Neats, I should say, in the end. Back to Pike. Pike another posse, so 9 for him. 1-on-1 Abraham was pretty good. Gets a second crack. He's kicked 2 in this quarter. He's just about good enough from here.
That is a great kick.
Beautiful kick to Harvey. Wasn't that
brilliant?
Terrific?
He's got Shannon Grant if he wants him directly in front.
Oh, he wants this goal, mate.
Oh, he does.
Abraham's really making a difference. He's keeping the Kangas in it.
Yep, he certainly is.
Well, just what I said before about Pikey and the foot skills, being ranked in the the middle order of the league. The difference there, he's just able to retain the ball. Halves, no problem there. But Abraham's able to spot the ball up under pressure.
He really did. Because he had enough time to him, he said, OK, I've got to look at the goals there. It's a tough shot. I can see where Harvey's running. I think I can hit him probably a little bit easier than I can kick the goal. We see him, he finally breaks through. Now he's looking. Look at the eyes. They're going to the goals. They're going to Harvey, to the goals to Harvey. And in the end, he waited up and said, if I just chip it into the square, odds are he'll mark it.
What's the odds on that Rigoni just burrows in under this one in the middle coming up next?
Well, he's had it 17 times.
Yeah, it's a good half.
That's extraordinary.
That's a good half.
Peter Bell's had it 18 times.
Here we go. Nearest on screen.
Capuano, Leoncelli, and Bell.
Well, you look at that. 4 sets of hands at the ball. Bell's got 1 of them. The other 3 within about 12 inches of the ball at the bounce. The whistle then were 3 Melbourne players.
So 31 points deep in this first half. A late goal to the Kangas will be really handy. Farmer, McCartney, held up Rigoni again, back to Schwarz.
He's given the shield.
To Grgic, floating and high. It's about 40 metres from goal. Hard ball to mark. Pickett belts away. Clayton had an airy, came off his back. Cook had to keep over the ball. Leoncelli did. Then back turn was good. Handball was loose. McCartney's got hold of it. Squeezes it out. Mark taken by Wheatley in his first game.
Good solid 1 grab for the kid.
Yeah, Motlop got caught not watching the ball.
Nicholson went inside, then doesn't look, and it's a poor turnover, really. Kicks to his opposite in Capuano. To King.
Well, don't kick it to Mick. Well, kick it to Mick, but you wonder where it's going next. That's all right.
McKernan doesn't take it. Needs. Motlop's quick. Here's a chance. Motlop's inside 50. It's a good-looking kick. It's a chance too. It's a goal. That's going to hurt, I reckon.
Yep.
Well, it was a tough mark for Neats, but somebody had to either be at the back or he had to hold the ball in.
25 points now at half-time. 30.
Manageable, isn't it?
Yeah. Half a minute to go in this first half, and they are a whole lot better than a 4-goal better team, the Demons.
Dermot, I'm very keen for you to keep an eye on Corey McKernan. I wonder if he has problems under lights, because he he misjudges so many balls. Even on that occasion, he came to the front of pack thinking he could jump up, and then it was well over his head. It happens too many times for there not to be something wrong.
He's playing out of the corridor too, isn't he?
Well, they've got back a bit here, the Kangas, haven't they? It was a 37-point game not long ago. We're back to 25, and they've got momentum, and maybe they can cling it back if somebody can take a grab.
Great mark.
Terrific Mark Hewitt. That's a ripper.
And have a look at Corey McKernan. He's excited because that was a la Wayne Carey. He backed into traffic. He knew it was coming, and he said, it's late in the quarter. We need this. I'll take it. And if I get cleaned up, so be it. Have a look at the intensity of the eyes here. They are focused on the ball. He knows there has to be traffic coming. He did not duck the head at any stage. That is pure courage.
That is a sensational mark. Well, for the second time, Scholl had a kick on the siren in the first quarter. Hewitt's got one.
That's all right.
It's just in. It's a goal.
2 in the last 30 seconds, Bruce.
And 3 in the last minute and a half, I think, or 2 minutes. Well, they've got a big run on here just at half-time, haven't they?
Have a look at the spirit of the players. Look at them grouping there.
Well, if Carey had done that sort of play, you'd say it was typical of the King, wouldn't you? But for young Hewitt to do it, and Neil Danaher must be spitting a bit here because they had this game under control. They were 37 points up 5 minutes ago. And now at half-time, it's 80-61. Dermot Jason back, and we'll talk to Wayne Carey later at half-time.
And welcome back to the MCG. We see the Demons transferring the ball here, and it ends up in the hands of their full forward, James Cook, who burst through the scene here. A very good night for the Demons thus far. A little bit of a run on to the Roos there late in the second quarter, in the first half. James Cook there has been very good. Welcome back to the MCG, and a 19-point lead to the Demons at half-time. James Cook has got 4. Cameron Bruce has been fantastic up forward as well, 3. David Schwarz, a big effect on the game in the first quarter, and Winnie Abraham, the sole contributor with multiple goals for the Kangaroos. Jason Dunstall, welcome back in once again. We have a look at some of the incidents from the first half, and it all started well, it was horribly wrong, wasn't it, for Winnie Abraham early days?
It was. They didn't have much to cheer out early on. This looked like it was going to be a great piece of play. He just gathers the ball from the handball, and look at the acceleration, a great body swerve, but then he just kept running. He wanted to make sure of it. Those long strides too far, a certain goal gone.
Counted 16 of them in there, so he had a few too many. Their boy down the end for the Demons in the forward line, Cameron Bruce, he's been a find for them, hasn't he? Second game.
He looked sensational, and he really did give David King some trouble. That was early on the first quarter. He just kicked that off one step, and he looks very creative up forward. He always gives himself a chance, and good hands here. Look at that, just roped it in, gave off a quick handball to Adam Uzaid. And here again we see David Schwarz, bit of a grubber kick, but he picks it up, gathers off 2 steps, threads it through, no problem.
He's just around the vicinity of the ball all the time, isn't he, Cameron Bruce? So he does have a chance to pick up a few possessions in the forward line. Once again, first half, he found a bit of it. He had some great stuff and he had some bad stuff for it.
Well, he can be very, very good. Look at this. When he's on the run, he is just deadly. Unloading from 50, that's gone over the fence. Not a problem there. But then at other times, you see we have a few problems. Here we see the handball comes from Shannon Grant. Now, he could have given it back. He decided to go himself. Probably could have run in a little bit closer and sprayed it. And then we saw him have a set shot. And you couldn't do this if you tried. He has landed this on top of the goalpost.
You should get 7 points for that one, I reckon. And also the Demons. I mean, the Roos have been struggling through the middle of the ground. They're finding crummers underneath, but the Demons have taken it the length of the ground with just pure teamwork and run through the middle.
Oh, look, they're sharing the ball around. And the other thing they try to do is, at most times, they try to keep it in the corridor. They go a little bit wide here. We see James McDonald, but he will bring it back inside, and that's where all the danger is. And they're forever finding loose men. Adam Uzaid then delivers a beautiful pass. You can't ask for much more, and James Cook finished off the work well, kicked 4.
Yeah, that was one of the 4 came after that also. Winston Abraham, we've already talked about him. He is a bit of a spark.
Well, it's been a bit of an Abraham's package, hasn't it? We've seen so many different sorts of things. He just attacked it there and took it on his own back to get them back in the game.
Let's take a look at where they're winning at the Demons at this point in time, Jace.
Not a great difference in the statistics, probably an extra 10 touches to Melbourne, but marks a considerable advantage to the Demons there. But centre breaks, the Kangaroos doing okay out of the middle.
They're just running through the centre very, very well. After the break, Bruce will be back with a special guest. He'll have Wayne Carey, the injured Kangaroo captain. We'll be speaking to him after the break. This is Friday Night Football with the Demons leading by 19 points.
7 Sport hope you're enjoying this match as part of the Coca-Cola AFL Premiership Season 2000.
So at half-time, 13-2, 15 scoring shots to 21. 8-13 the Kangaroos, but the Kangaroos did kick late goals to tighten it up at half-time. Do you reckon it's an even money match at the moment?
Well, you've got to say that the Kangaroos finished with momentum. I hope they can resume with the same momentum. It'll be interesting to see how they start the third quarter.
Well, Dipper's looking after the Kangaroos and Anthony Hudson's looking after Melbourne. How do you see it, Dip?
Well, fantastic last 5 minutes by the North Melbourne boys there. Plenty cold showers. About half a dozen boys had cold showers. Jason McCartney had his left ankle strapped and very buoyant after those terrific goals. And in the Demons room, Hutto?
Yeah, the theme for Melbourne is don't drop off, and I guess they were pretty wild with their last few minutes. The heat also a problem there. Obviously, they've rotated a lot of players through. They're pretty confident. They know they finished well last week.
I've noticed now that Ryan Pagan is starting on the ground in his second half.
First run for him, and Dipper, you've got the Coca-Cola Court red-handed contestant with you, and John's gone for the Kangaroos by 18 points.
Yeah, 18 points, John. You're 37 points away from $10,000. You reckon the boys can do it?
Yeah, we can turn it around. It's only a 6-goal turnaround. I'm pretty confident.
You're very confident?
Very confident.
Because you want to be for 10 grand.
Certainly. Off Melbourne.
Good on you, John.
He's cocky. Only a 6-goal turnaround. My money's on the D's from here.
Melbourne.
I've always wanted to say that, Bruce. D's.
Well, you've had your chance. 13-2 to 8-13. I'm working with the D's, aren't I? Dipper, Dunstall and Dermott as Bell, Farmer, Leoncelli, Woden had a terrific first quarter and a very strong second. Goes in short. This is Brad Green. First time we've seen him too. Really goes to full forward. Could Schwarz take the mark? Doesn't, but gets a second crack. Gets brought to ground. Gets forced towards the pocket. King just overran it a bit. Bruce pushed forward. Uze doesn't quite take possession cleverly. Pike got rid of him with a hip and shoulder. It comes back to Harvey from King. Goes down the line. Good kick. Bell was terrific when things weren't going well for the Kangas.
Just a little help assist from Pike as well. Put the body out of the way.
Abraham clever through the legs. Gave Calthorpe a chance and he gets a free kick, Calthorpe, I think. No advantage given.
No, the umpire will adjudicate that there wasn't a big enough advantage there. Pickett's run on.
Pickett continued to run. Yep, he might get this over the back yet.
Yeah, good work there by Ingo. He could see that unfolding and he just had to keep the ball going in front of him, back the way it came. Pretty scrappy here now. The umpire will come in and ball this up.
Inside the 50 for the Kangaroos. Ingerson was the last man standing a bit there and did hold it up for them.
Pikey snuck off at the top of screen.
And you got the wingers playing full forward and fullback right now, Derm.
Pike and Woden have snuck away at the top of the screen.
Simmons to Farmer. They're giving him a run in midfield to try and get him into the game. Capuano chasing hard. And Schwarz runs it over.
You could just see that. I just felt that Capuano, when he grabbed at that one down in the goal square, it was about to happen again. I reckon he thought of himself, the hands aren't great. Pikey, he's not willing to put shoulder to shoulder, is he?
Capuano did well. Got it to Bell. Bell under the pump, but brings it back to McKernan territory. It's at a half forward. Hewitt. Pickett was good. This is an important play. The Kangas have got a loose man at full forward. It was Calthorpe. Pickett. Walsh has done really well here and goes with him. And that's good stuff.
Yeah, that was good work by both of them. And I mean, Pickett stayed over it. He attacked the ball. He was getting pressured from a couple of different angles, but he stuck to the task, as did Walsh. He was always on his man. He wasn't letting him get away.
Had the stumble there. Most blokes would have gone to ground. Byron Pickett keeps his feet.
McKernan front spot. Simmons at the back. Motlop, who kicked one of those important goals late in the second term. Still Motlop. He's forced to the line.
He's dropped that. He's dropped that. Good decision.
Simmons.
Dangerous.
Uze's got it. He was good, Uze. He's a beautiful kick, isn't he? Neats, it'll be interesting to see how they use Neats in the second half. To Phoebe on the burst.
Cook on the long one.
Cook gets a free kick, I think. Cook.
Yep, he's drawn that from Archer. Archer saw Mick Martin coming back and Cook had done him early. Cook had read the lead early, got out there, and Arch was thinking to himself, there you go, I've got to hold him up to protect Mick Martin's back. And that's what gives away the free. Look, Archer's trying to do the right thing by his teammate then, because, see, some blokes come out like Tony Lockett. Mick Martin would have had a couple of broken ribs in the back there in that sort of situation. He's done the right thing by his teammate, but given away a free kick.
I love the way Arch was asking the umpire, what did I do? And we saw a great shot of him locking the arm of his opponent.
He sprayed that one. That's his first blemish, I think, Cookie.
He missed one at the other end.
Yep.
His missed a lot there. That's a poor kick.
Yep. Notice he had to change his action. He's been kicking all of the kicks for goal by stab. No problem. He's got to get a bit of elevation through that one, and he just pushes it right.
Bell was pushing forward. Schwarz, still Schwarz. He's got very good vision, hasn't he? And then runs to about 80 metres, kicks to the pocket. Green was there with Robertson.
He's tried to steal it, Robertson.
Goes back to Archer. He's played everywhere tonight, Archer. Finds Pike.
Robertson tried to steal that off his own man then. I suppose positive error. He wants it. Nothing's unfolding. Byron Pickett's playing up the ground now. Well worked.
No mark paid, and then through his legs. He's only had a free kick, I think.
He's not going to like that, the attention from Seacamp.
Quickly on and finds Motlop.
Now McKernan has made space for himself. He's going to ignore him. Go inside 50.
With the leap. Oh, he sat down.
Walsh belts away. Harvey. Walsh has been pretty good.
Yeah, he's backed himself, hasn't he?
Certainly did it there again. A little kick's okay. Green's getting involved early. Promising start for the rookie.
Oh, Bruce has run down. He hasn't seen him.
Goes to the pocket. Wants Cook. He's outnumbered. Schwarz at the back. Does it stay in? Doesn't.
Gee, that was poor by the Kangaroos defence. 3 of them ran under the ball then, and if that ball had have sat up and not run over the boundary line, Schwarz runs into an open goal.
Shoaling, McCartney, Burton on interchange for Kangas.
Crucial, the first goal of this quarter.
And the longer it goes on, it gets more important, doesn't it? So left forward pocket, Demons deep into attack. Robertson took it out of the air, and he's going to get...
hand on the shoulder, I think, on the jump originally,
free
was
kick
it?
to Robertson.
He's gone the other way.
He pointed the wrong way first, the umpire. Now he's corrected himself.
So Capuano hand around the shoulder, and the umpire, I think, was always going with Robertson, but just went the wrong way.
Yep. That is one of the dangers, Dermot, when you see a normal ruckman going up against someone who stands in for the ruckman in the forward line.
Yep.
Because they are so much taller, once the ball gets below a comfortable height above their heads, they're always in danger of giving away a free kick for too high.
I know they've tinkered around with the rules in this off-season, but that is one rule which needs addressing.
Kicks from 30 metres. He's missed, I think.
Hey, he likes it.
He does like it. They like it, and he's got it. So Robertson gets the really important opening goal here, 86-61. Back to 25 points. They did lead by 37, the Demons, in that second term. Harvey unloads to half forward.
Oh, that's got to be a free kick.
McKernan, Neats hanging on.
I've got to say, with Neats back there, I would have liked to have seen the Demons just before the Roos got on a 3-goal roll at the end of the second quarter. Neats is still playing back.
You can see the right arm just locking him around the hips. Then he swaps and puts the left arm around the other hip.
I would have liked to have seen Neil Danaher try and throw something back at the Roos and given them something to think about and move Neats forward.
He's kicked 1-4 where he needs to kick a straight one here.
Yeah, huge kick here. Good view. Looks good, but fading away. So he's got 1-5, McKernan.
Now, 1-4 is a bit of bad luck. 1-5 is a sad night with your kicking skills, that goal.
And the scoreboard, 14-2 to 8-14.
He's got to kick, the next 2 or 3 without blemish just to break even now, McKernan.
Gee, too easy, wasn't it? Uze, Leoncelli to half forward. Green made a contest. Mickey's look away handball effective. That was Martin to Grant. Walsh got rid of Pickett, but then didn't go for it. And Burl onto it. Farmer, terrific. Ran him down. That might lift him a bit. Motlop's a good kick. Leans back and drills it. A goal. So the Demon fans unhappy, aren't they, with no free kick?
A bit of back chat going on there. And John Blakey was in the ear of Jeff Farmer after that little incident as well.
So back to 3 goals, 14-2 to 9-14. Farmer, Rigoni, enormous first half. Blakey wobbles to the centre. Motlop doesn't get the free.
Oh, great play, Bell.
Pike, terrific Farmer. Ran him down. That's good, encouraging stuff from Farmer.
Run on with the ball, Jeff. Don't argue then.
He's coming straight off there.
Woden gets it from Ingerson and then unloads to full forward. He wants Robertson in the front. The chase is on. Harvey and Uze. Uze's game has been terrific.
Yeah, that's the right decision there. The boundary line has broken that action. Farmer off.
Isn't it interesting? They just moved him into the middle to try and get him into the game. He looked like he might do a couple of inspirational things with the tackles and then straight off.
Yeah, Blakey went to him and offset him a bit. We watched the ball go over again. Umpire says, just throw it over your shoulder, Umpy. Yeah, but he actually looked like he started to lose his cool because Blakey ran up to him after it and just bumped him slightly, ever so slightly, and Jeff Farmer came back at him and just pushed him on the side of the head. The Umpy didn't see it though.
Archer, Martin, deep in the pocket, or half forward really, and Leon Chilly out of play.
I reckon the coach saw it and thought that could cost us a secondary kick at goal. So he's taken him off, but he was very, very good. When he argued with the umpire though.
He's preparing to come straight back on, Doom, so I think they just had a quick word to him.
Yep.
Leon Chilly, little give was terrific. Schwarz was too tight and too hard for Powell. Archer bursting.
How is that not a free kick?
Pushing the front.
Clayton arched himself and got away. Kicks to centre wing. Simmons has got it. So he can be a bit loose, Simmons, on the kick. He's got a couple of loosies. He's short. Seacamp.
Well, there's no tall timber in the goal square. Cook's trying to push back, but he's going to lead away from it.
Now, Cook's happy to come up and accept a short pass because he has very good range on his kicking. He can kick the ball 55. Look, he'll be kicking from inside the square, so it's probably a little bit too far. But you always do look to give it to your longer kickers around the 50-metre mark.
Uze's the kind of bloke they need side on to the...
He fancies himself, Derm. He's gone back 30 metres from the mark.
Geez, he's got the Michael Holding run up, hasn't he?
This would be a heck of a kick.
Will kick from inside the square.
Oh, got a piece of it too.
He's kicked it very well. It's not a goal. Robertson fell in his lap in the end. Still, and Pike away. Handball to King. King bursting away. Good tackle by McDonald. Play on call. Abraham. Green liked him early in this quarter. Kick back to the front of the square. Schwarz terrific. Still Schwarz. That was good play because Martin was in the box seat.
I reckon Mick has nightmares about Gary Ablett lurking behind him when the ball comes in like that every time.
Long memories, those footballers, don't they?
Oh, yeah.
We all have nightmares of Gary Ablett.
Schwarz. Still Schwarz. Green again.
Oh,
Green again. Kicks the goal. So Brad Green, Melbourne's first pick, taken 19th in the draft overall. Farmer back on. Look at the scoreboard, 15-2 to 9-14. Capuano building out of the centre. Walsh against the tide. Seacamp's been all right. He was the late inclusion for White, and that's a penetrating kick. Robertson held his ground really well. It's in the front. Robertson again. The tackle on him. Handball away. Taken by Green. Green's kick to the pocket. He's had 5 kicks already, Green, in this quarter.
Gee, they've unearthed some exciting talent over the first 2 weeks of the season, haven't they?
Cameron Bruce has kicked 3 tonight, another rookie. And
Wheatley we haven't seen a lot of.
No, but he had a touch or 2 to half-time. So their 3 rookies have been good.
I think, Wheatley hasn't had a lot of it. He hasn't had a lot of ground time either. Safe hands, but Green and Bruce, have they got some talent?
Simpson. Clayton gets it. So the Kangaroos still 4 goals behind here. Make that 4 goals. Had more scoring shots, a lot more. The kick to centre wing. Seacamp fancied himself. Motlop was good. To Bell. Bell over to Pagan. First time we've really seen Ryan Pagan. He's on interchange in the first half. Phoebe away. Good play, Woden. Phoebe to Cook. Now Cook over the top, surely. Well, he should have quickly gone on then, and he didn't. Now he goes short and finds his target in Green again.
That is very good play by James Cook. I think he got a bit of a surprise being up on the wing. All of a sudden he had space. Now he had the loose player and he kept his head well because the option disappeared in front of him. He had Cameron Bruce up forward, but the option disappeared in front of him and then it was gone. So he said, OK, I've got to look for another option. And then he found it, and have a look at the delivery to Brad Green.
He's actually pretty good when he just stabs at it, Cookie, isn't he? This kid Bruce, he's just a loiterer. He just keeps running around and around and finding a little bit of space.
Gee, Green's dobbed it. Green has dobbed it. Is this kid any good? Real danger now for the Kangas, isn't it?
Byron Pickett already moved on to Brad Green.
Got to get the next couple now, the Kangas. have to do it. Blakey out of the centre, a bit up and under at 50. McKernan has to hold his ground. It was easy for Neat to the back. Blakey's handball to Calthorpe. Calthorpe with a bit of distance. Stewart being held onto by Ingerson. No free kick. Abraham not first there. Harvey is and gets it. Goal.
Ooh. Gee, they needed that one.
It's Picker picking up Green. So Green with 2 goals here. The 19-year-old rookie.
That's a wake-up call, isn't it? Byron Pickett against you. You can jump Simmons in the centre.
And did well, Farmer. Scooted off a bit, but at least he's getting heavily involved here. Uze's been a winner all night and takes Pike on. Pike's at him. Well, he's let him go, okay, and Mickey's got it. Martin to McKernan, Scholl at the front, Demons from everywhere. Powell read it okay, it got away from him. Rigoni in trouble now. Taken off him by Bell, who's been terrific. Hewitt's on the end of it over the top. Doesn't, decides to go on. Steady, steady, goal. There's some good footy being played here.
He showed enough to suggest he's ready for the next step with the right opportunity. Evan Hewitt, hasn't he?
Yep, I thought he might have handballed over to David Calthorpe because that would have been the natural play on to go with. But once he stepped inside the player, he thought, I'm clear, I'm running directly at goal, there's no reason why I shouldn't take the shot. Very sensible option in the end. But I'll tell you what, for the Kangaroos to get back into this game, we'll just see a beautiful body step there. One of the big men, either McKernan or Hewitt, up forward, and Jason McCartney's actually going up forward now as we speak. One of those big men up forward has to grab a couple.
What's the situation with Leoncelli, Dipper?
He's okay, Bruce. He's just having a bit of a rest. You see him on the ground there with the ice vest there, just taking a bit of a rest there. Has his calves rubbed at the moment. Also, Shannon Grant's on the bench, looking pretty disappointed. 18
points, Dipper. Just how hot is it? Still very hot.
It has cooled down since quarter time, but it's still very warm out here.
Powell, little give, can't. Bell's played a game, hasn't he? To Pagan. Pagan belts it inside 50. Oh. Big fly came from McKernan. Got rid of a few. Harvey, Grgic. Woden got rid of Harvey. Woden to Schwarz. Suddenly the tempo's up again. There's a ball game to be won by both teams.
Brad Green all on his own.
And Woden's got him.
Cameron Bruce all on his own.
Oh, they're everywhere.
Green playing on. Kick, not good. Inside 50. Bruce may get involved here. Does. Back turn. He just dropped it in the end. He's gone. He's gone. Well, the advantage given. No advantage, really. Blakey, hot ball. Simpson off the side. Okay, Pickett's got it. They get away with the Kangas. Justice is done there, I feel. Pickett at half back. Goes to half forward. Hewitt's at the back. McKernan. Well read, though, by Grgic. A bounce.
Important touch by Simmons there, just to stop the ball moving in that direction. Hit it sideways. Look out.
Rigoni to half forward. Good mark, Pike. Wasn't a great kick. Cross to
Mickey
Bell.
Martin playing up the ground's found a bit of space too.
Bell's had 26 possessions to Pickett.
Mickey's going to do the shepherding and let Pickett run on.
Feel like the game can be won and lost in the next 5 or 10 minutes because they're really having red hot goes, both of them, aren't they?
Oh, absolutely. You're going to take a huge effort from the Roos, though.
Motlop. Seacamp. Ball up.
What they have to do, the Demons, right now is just... Oh, this could cost. This could cost. Oh, at an important time. You named it just then, Bruce. And let's hope nothing sillier happens and 50 metres is affected.
So Seacamp taken off him for mouthing off.
I think he felt like he copped the cheap shot in that ruck there, and he had a bit to say when it came out, and the umpires are not tolerating that at all.
Hewitt. Right there, not quite. Schwarz goes back, belts it through. 17 points. That's probably the closest they've been for a while, I'd think. For a long, long time.
But with all the action we've had in the third quarter, it's still basically the same margin. They haven't made any ground. It's only a 2-point difference.
It was 16 at quarter time, 19 at half time, you're right, back to 17. Good game of footy, isn't it? Walsh has got it.
They'd want to be within a couple of goals, I reckon, because the Demons finished strongly with running last week. They're going to run again, and they're showing that they're running the ball down here. He's turned back into traffic here.
He's run a long way too.
Stephen Powell, and then doesn't kick it very well, and Archer. I was going to say Archer's a soda for him, but he was at pace, wasn't he?
He's in an angry mood here.
Yes, we won't even think about what he just said then, Dermot. He was obviously very disappointed. He'd done the hard work. He'd got on the ball side of his opponent and then dropped the chest mark, and that shot says it all.
He's fairly hard on himself, Arch.
Schwarz to the back, laid it down to Powell, still with Powell, and then get something on the kick. It's going to be a behind, so it's an 18-point game. They had a 9-day break, Melbourne, coming into this match. Kangas at least did have 7.
Yep.
They had a couple of extra days. It's been pretty hot in Melbourne.
I think that makes an impact when you have a shorter week, but not when you have the full week or a slightly longer week.
Walsh coming off.
He's been good, Walsh.
Returns. Yeah, he's been very good, hasn't he? We watch what's ahead of David King. Oh, he's trying to draw him, trying to get the overlap. Not happening.
McKernan in the end of target. Simmons, Motlop liked him. Kicks to centre wing. Hewitt. Leoncelli has just come onto the ground. He's going to get a free kick.
Yeah, he made sure the umpire saw it. He rolled with the slight contact. They'll try and come inboard here. They've got him everywhere, and he's picked out the one spot where the Roos are.
Simmons, important handball was good to Grgic. Grgic to centre half forward. Robertson's got it.
He took his man under the ball, didn't he? He just read the flight of it coming in. And I think, who's that, Simpson on him? Is that Simpson stand? Yeah. Well, Simpson's not used to chasing somebody out from the back line. He's played a little bit of footy late last year on the back flank, but from the goal square, you watch him. He comes out hard on the lead. He's about 2 metres in front by now. He reads the ball, stops, and just does a little hook on the end of the lead.
It's one of these tertiary forwards, and he's like the third or fourth man. He's got to get a couple of goals every match to really hold his spot. He's kicked one. He's kicked that well. He's kicked two.
Home.
Well, the problem that the Kangaroos are facing at the moment is that as hard as they're working, every time the Demons go forward, they're basically kicking a goal. 17-3. It's just an extraordinary conversion rate.
17-4 West Coast were at half-time last week against the Kangas as well. Can you?
Yep.
17-4 in one week and 17-3 the next.
You're a bit stiff, aren't you?
I reckon.
But you also look, shots like this, where they are kicking them from, the Kangaroos, without McMartin playing right in the goal square, they just open up the corridor for a team to lead straight down there. Of course, they're going to kick a lot more accurately from dead in front. We see Scholl coming off.
Shannon Grant on.
He's got to do something, Corey. He's got to tap this one down to himself, kick it forward and mark it at the other end.
Well,
he needs something.
It's a reasonable ask. Pagan gets it. I think the free kick comes back to Bell. Bell's been just terrific. 100th match for the Kangaroos. Played a couple of Fremantle.
So you'd have to be hard-pressed to think of a player in the last 6 or 7 years, this current generation of league footballers, that has been better value club to club.
Only player from a Kangaroo point of view with over 20 possessions in this match today. Gets the ball well inside 50, and Ingerson's got it.
Poor kick. Look at the D's peel off. They've just run off everywhere here.
Schwarz kicks it in front of Uze. Again, an important ball. Pike did well. Just got rid of him. And then Uze was terrific to get back. Real contest, 2-on-2. Fair in the end. It was a good play by Pike and then by Uze.
Now, if we have a look at this.
He's painted against him for abuse. I think they're getting carried away with that rule.
But the Demons are going to be careful because both Schwarz and Farmer cost them last week with abuse.
That's right.
They've got to be careful here. Motlop, we saw Seacam a moment ago. Pagan, kick to full forward. Cowthorpe's got the box. See, got it.
Oh, he's called play on.
And Cowthorpe hooks it back. I think it's a goal. He's kicked it. Three goals to Cowthorpe.
He's done a great job playing up forward, David Cowthorpe. You've just got to wonder, though, about this rule. I mean, the umpires have to realise that players, and we can just see Adam Uze there copying the phone call because he was the one that gave away the free kick for querying the decision or abuse of the umpire. A great opportunist goal by David Cowthorpe. You just wonder if they're taking it too far. I mean, players are emotional. Yeah. They are entitled to express disappointment with the decision as long as they don't personally insult the umpire.
Cameron Bruce comes back on. You know what? This Uze change, the Rigoni change, could work in their favour. They're down on the boundary there. They'll get a quick little rub. And they're the running players that have been killing the Roos during the night. They'll come back and run the last quarter out.
Working on Walsh's hamstring there. Bell again. What a game he's playing. Mickey a bit up and under. Oh, McKernan was good.
Oh.
Not paid. He had a lot of it. Schwarz involved. McKernan's hurt himself, I think.
Yep.
Demons go forward. McKernan in trouble. Here's a charge. Is Green going to kick a third? Robertson will get it. Yes.
Ooh. I reckon there could be a 50 coming up here.
No, he got away with it.
No. Oh, he's given him one behind the ear. Corey behind play. I reckon somebody jumped into him and has corked his hamstring.
Yeah, it might just be a bit of cramp.
Yeah, more cramp, I think, boys. It's still very warm down here, and that's why some of the Demons players are coming on and off the ground, just getting their legs rubbed.
I tell you what, Byron Pickett doesn't leave you wondering. He just attacks.
He's brilliant, isn't he?
He's kicked 2 in this quarter. This would be a huge contribution if he can kick this.
Oh, run around, son.
Missed it.
Sort of thought it's a pretty tight angle to kick a direct drop punt from. You really need to run out and give yourself a bit of angle to work with.
Let's have a look at the replay of McKernan.
Get off me, please.
Yep. Oh, it's happened before that. That's a hammy.
I think it's cramped, dude.
You reckon? Oh, yeah, he's moving around all right now. He's on the lead.
He's done a hammy. He's moving exceptionally well.
There he is. That's going to hurt him again. He'll get up sore from that too.
Pagan pushing forward. Oh, here's the other kid, Wheatley. That looked good enough. Kicks to about 45, and Simpson judged it best. King was quick to call for it and gets it. Does a bounce. And
no one to kick to. He's got to come back the other way.
Pagan the target and gets him at centre half back.
He's got to go to little fella Harvey. He's going to crumb it front and centre.
Abraham front spot, Woden dropped it, comes away. Hard ball to be won. Comes back from McDonald. Handball out wide to Wheatley. Oh, power! Oh. Play on call. Demons say it was a coat hanger. I don't think it was. Here's Clayton. Inside. A handball to Pagan. Pagan getting a few touches. Goes hard and high to centre half forward.
Poor kick.
Here's a chance. Grant's going to kick a goal. They're going to be close now.
Shannon Grant runs into an open goal.
Grant's got it.
Got out of jail with that one. Ryan Pagan's kick. Evan Hewitt had done his opponent. The Demons are filthy in the crowd.
Oh, he is unloaded now. That would be a couple of 50s if he was actually playing Derm, I think.
Was that Doug Parkinson? Anyway, we watch it here. The kick is poor. Evan Hewitt's had to come back into the traffic. They've just done well on the front and centre roving on the run-through by Grant. Evan Hewitt did him on the lead and went out there, and Pagan put the kick in behind the lead.
And I thought, and we can just see there, that they can come back from a three-quarter time deficit. But Shannon Grant, I thought he made a mistake in flying for the ball. He was lucky to keep his feet and then run onto the bouncing ball into an open goal.
And again they come back. We're back to 13 points. 5 of their 8 games are able to come from behind at three-quarter time and win last year. That's a very strong stat.
I just get the feeling with this bloke, if you move him forward, it'll give Pagan something else to think about. Oh, spill mark, that's going to hurt.
Schwarz it was.
Can he deliver it, Mickey?
Mickey's 70 metres out. He gets it hard and high. Winnie's a chance.
Strong body, Abraham.
Little give to Neach. You'd push him forward, would you, Dermot?
Yeah, I'd just make Pagan take the effort. It's all been about Pagan trying to work out how am I going to get this lead back. If you just did it the other way, there's the overlap on here.
Cameron Bruce is alone.
He's got... Oh, he can move it on quickly. He played on. He played on.
Umpire said play on, boys.
Yeah, and he did. I'd just like to, if you're the Melbourne hierarchy, you'd just like to take a bit of the initiative away from the Roos. They're hunting them all the time at the moment.
Question, Dern, if you play on, does that mean you've had time to dispose of the ball?
No, obviously that's why it's a bounce down.
Just about a minute to go. It's been a great fighting quarter by the Kangaroos. Melbourne have kept the scoreboard ticking. Leoncelli had more time than he probably thought in the end, but did get it forward.
You can see why he's so good in that situation. A clean pickup and just a quick swivel gained his team 30 metres.
Can they construct a late goal here from a boundary throw-in, 40 metres out?
They've got to knock it into the corridor. Schwarz has to just get the right hand, lock Mickey's right arm down and hit it over his head.
Robertson comes in, Schwarz plays to himself.
Great
Simpson
tackle.
was good, he was the last man. Bell again in close to Blakey, going to come down the other way. King bursts away. Big important mark coming up. Hewitt front spot, has a second crack. Well read by Motlop. Keeps the ball in, but the mark taken by Uze. There's still time. Cramped up there, Hewitt. There's still time. It's very hot here. Camp. 13 points the margin.
One thing I've got to say about cramp, if you ever seriously cramp up, it's quite rare you can run a game out without cramping again, especially if you get it in the third quarter.
Ingerson, neat kick.
Beautiful pass.
This kid's got good hands, hasn't he? One grab everything. Hasn't had a lot of disposals, but one grab all the time.
Schwarz missed it. Cook, could he have a late shot? Not much time. Bruce is going to have to kick it now. He does. He's got another one. Bruce has kicked 4 on the siren.
Schwarz in trouble down here, boys. Looks like he's hurt his left knee.
Oh, no. Well, you just pray that he just took a heavy knock and it's nothing more.
Let's watch.
Well, he might have jarred it a little bit when he landed. It didn't look as though it was too serious.
Left knee.
He is up and moving and having a bit of a stretch of it, so I think he might have just jarred it. I hope he did.
He punched it in there pretty seriously, didn't he, into the turf?
Well, what a late goal that was. What a quarter of footy. It was
That is footy.
terrific stuff, wasn't it?
What a contest. The margin's the same.
Here's David Schwarz. 3 operations, a couple of big major ones over the years since that stellar season. 94 when he kicked 60 goals. He does look as if he's not too bad. What a quarter. And as Jason said, it's still a 19-point ball game. Back with the last after this. Well, there's not a big crowd, but I tell you what, there's high excitement here. This has been a very good game, and the stakes are high. I know it's only round 2. Melbourne lost the first game by 2 points. They wouldn't want to lose after being in front, and the Kangaroos don't want to be 0-2, do they?
No, they certainly don't. The most amazing stat is that the Roos have had 11 more scoring shots.
18-4. Jeff Farmer, interesting. I mean, put a couple of tackles on, didn't he? Wanted a back chat. They whipped him off the ground in a hurry, didn't they?
Oh, he was fantastic laying these tackles, but he turns around here and says to the umpire, this is my second one, why don't you pay it? Now, he should be chasing the ball there. That's why he's been taken off. His coach has seen that and thought, get him off.
The big story is Schwarz late in that quarter, isn't it, with the knee?
Left knee. Now, the thing that worries me about this is it was the left knee that didn't dig into the turf. It's about the landing.
Well, they have been working on it during the break, so it'll be interesting to see whether he resumes his position at the start of the last quarter.
Now, watch the slackness here, the sideways movement you're looking for. There's a fair bit there. We know he should have, I mean, most blokes shouldn't have it. He's had it done that many times, Jason, that there is always going to be a bit of movement. The question is it more than what is normally there now?
Well, it's an interesting one. Sometimes you don't have any movement at all because they fix it up that tight that it's just
scrunch it up.
Solid.
Yeah. Well, Dipper's going to talk to Chris Fagan, who's one of the coaching men from Melbourne at the moment, so he's going to ask him about Schwarz, and he might ask him about Neitz, whether he'll go forward or not. Dipper, you're down there.
Yes, I am, Bruce. So the good news is that Schwarz is definitely playing. I just asked the doctor, he's okay. A bit of concern there with Schwarz.
Yeah, he's okay though. Dipper, his knee just a little bit of a knock on it. Just needs a little bit of time to get a bit of ice on it, and he's ready to go again. Very keen.
Have you thought about moving Neitz up the forward line?
Not at this stage. We think he's doing a good job down back, and our players really attacking the footy and moving it quickly. We just want to keep him there, mate.
And you used the bench very well tonight. You've used your runners on and off the bench.
Yeah, the warm conditions is important. We got some run at the end. We trained very hard over the summer, and now we're going to be able to find out if we can use it, mate.
And Farmer trying to get in the game somehow?
Yeah, look, he was good when he came on there. He tackled a couple of times and got 5 or 6 possessions that quarter, and we've got him on the bench at the moment. We'll be able to use him in the last quarter, come on with fresh legs.
Thanks for joining us, Chris.
No worries, mate.
Looking forward to this last quarter, mate.
Thanks, Dipper. Good stuff there. So plenty happening through the mines. There's Farmer.
You just sense a bit of excitement in the Demons Brains Trust. They figure they're in a winning position. They've just got to put it together for the last 30 minutes.
So a bit of run on their bench too.
I wonder if Walsh is... They worked on his hammer. He's important. I think he was very good.
Oh, and he just took on the opposition, the forwards of the Kangaroos. He took them on, tucked the ball under the arm and set it up by foot coming forward. We look at the Roos bench.
Dennis has got all his runners on, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's got nothing up his sleeve in the middle of the ground. He has just got to get run, which he hasn't had all night. They've just played the bomb up forward, hope for crummers.
19 points in it. The Demons have kicked 7 goals in the first quarter, 6 in the second, 5 in the third. If they get 4 in the last, it might be enough. The kick to centre half forward. An early goal would be damaging. Green had a bit of it. Still to be one. Good handball out. Cook's got a chance here. That's a good kick. That's a terrific kick. He's kicked 5. What a blow. What a huge blow. Bruce in the last 5 seconds of the third quarter. Cook in the first half minute of the last.
That just makes it extremely difficult for the Kangaroos to get back into the game. I mean, third quarter, the Demons kicked the first one. Last quarter, kicked the first one. They just keep opening up that space. Look, there was a heck of a contest at half forward. It got knocked around a few times. You see him, he got drawn up from full forward, ran round to the front of the pack, took the handball from Cameron Bruce again, and look at that. He's a real opportunist. He knows he doesn't get that many opportunities, doesn't he make the most of them?
Important centre bounce takeaway here. Dennis Pagan, he'd be thinking, where do I find the ball in the middle of the ground? Who is going to run through the line for me? This is important takeaway here.
Mickey bangs it back high. Seacamp underneath. Nobody going for it.
That's a hold.
Oh, that's an interesting one. That could have gone either way.
So against Grgic. Going to Shannon Grant. No, it's going back to Motlop, I think. I think Grant thought it was his. No one on the mark. Motlop kicks. They need a quick reply here. They might get it. Abraham flew hard. Powell's handball over the top.
There's a poor kick in there too, Bruce.
Phoebe to Grgic. He's stretching and taking Harvey away, and then goes down the line to 50. Wheatley front spot at the back pipe. King, Robertson. You just think for Melbourne, every time it goes into the half-forward line, they've got to contest Melbourne, don't they?
Yep.
To make it very difficult for the Kangaroos to bang it back.
And the big difference is, I think the Demons look likely to take marks up forward. The Kangaroos don't. They haven't had any winners in the air tonight.
Well, the thing about young Wheatley, he's got a good pair of hands. He's going to find a lot of contests. He hasn't had a lot of ground time at the moment. He's got fresh legs to make the contest of the ball coming over the centre.
Mickey's kick, all the 50-50s vital. Simmons, they've made a bit of a mess. Powell, still Powell, he's in trouble. Poor kick, was on his wrong side. Harvey to Simpson. Simpson looks up and goes long. Calthorpe's at the bottom. Hewitt, it comes down. It goes to Grant. He's on his wrong side. He's on his wrong side, but he's kicked his second goal. They keep on coming, don't they? They keep on coming.
They do. Look, Shannon Grant, we know how classy a player he is. I think he almost had a touch of the Winston Abrahams there. Because he was on the wrong side of his body, he thought, should I just chip this over to Corey McKernan, who was running back? Just have a look at the eyes. He has a look inside. Then he thinks, no, his opponent's too close. I'll have a ping at him. And he finished it beautifully.
I reckon he might have had the possibility. I'll go with it, Bruce.
He's been a big goal kicker at the Kangaroos.
Yep.
Different role than at the Swans, hasn't he? He's almost a mirror image of one another.
Yep. I reckon he's had a pretty good miss there.
He almost struck it mid-ball, didn't he?
Yes.
So 19-4 to 14-15. Leoncelli. Front spot, Bruce. Gee, he's been magnificent. He's kicked 4. He's missed it. He's played a game.
He just keeps the eyes on the ball, doesn't he? And the secondary thing is evading the tackler. Watch here.
And it's just running for him at the moment. He kept his eyes on the ball beautifully. Straightens up. Just dropped it a little bit crooked, and you can see the despair on his face.
That's what's lying ahead of Pickett. He goes for the weight of numbers, and Capuano, who can't even close the hands on it.
Robertson to kick the goal and misses. Last year, when they last played one another, Melbourne led by 19 points early in the last quarter, and the Kangaroos got up and won by 2 points, and the score was 12-21 to 14-8. 12-21 to 14-8. Well, it's 14-15 to 19-5, so I just wonder.
It happened the year before too. The Demons had a real close one with them about round 2 or 3 as well. So good tussles between these two teams over the last 3 years.
They did play in a preliminary final about 18 months ago. Mickey's on his own.
Go, Mick!
Oh, it's anywhere stuff now.
Oh, catch that.
That's cruel.
Lang flies. Ingerson. Walsh held on to. Gets a free kick. Gets a free kick.
Gee, he made great ground to get free, Mick, but he just couldn't deliver a pass. Mind you, there weren't too many good leads forthcoming.
Grgic Woden looked up. He's been called to play on here.
Oh, this is danger. They'll get back to this.
Abraham, Leoncelli. Good mark. Now he's got a man on. He's going to go down the line.
It's the kid, isn't it? The new boy. Green.
Still Green. Boundary throw. He almost went into the Kangaroos interchange there.
It's a chance to slip one in.
Gee, he ran on well, Mick. He just didn't get the clear lead. In the end, he had to go long.
Oh, hasn't kicked a goal since 1996, Mickey. He had half a chance there, didn't he?
He's not likely to with stuff like that.
Leoncelli. Gee, you're cruel, Dermot.
You've got to be honest about it. I love him. I reckon he's fantastic against the ball holder there, Ryan Pager. The old call, hatching an umpire.
Schwarz, who we had almost out of it a moment ago. Oh,
that was poor.
Yeah, not a good kick.
Low percentage, that one.
Because he had Green as well. And Simpson gets it.
And that's just as poor a kick.
Simmons has got to work.
He didn't realise he was in the box then, Simmons.
McKernan to Motlop. Motlop, such a penetrating kick. Grant might be the man here. No, comes to the front. Winnie, still Winnie. Good tackle.
That's a great tackle.
Oh, he's paid in the back.
This rule annoys me, and the thing about it is it's a holding the ball call, and what it is it should be only implemented if the player's safety is in danger. He's propped and stopped there and waited for contact that I've got nowhere to go. I hope the bloke rides me into the ground.
Well, my gut feeling was that was dropping the ball, and I thought that was the decision that was going to be paid, but The unfortunate thing there is you look at the momentum. What you've got to try and do in this instance is roll them over so that you almost land on your back and take them on top of you, because if you drive them into the ground like that, you inevitably get pinged.
And I've got to say, having a second look at it on reflection, he went
drove him into the ground. But if he had twisted him in the tackle, he probably would have got away with it.
Nicholson on for Simmons. Well, huge kick here. 20-point margin. Good look at his angle. He's kicked two.
Run straight. He's got to run straight.
He skews him to the right normally like that. That's...
Missed it.
Well, Abraham's kicked 2-3. And McKernan's kicked 1-5, so they've got 3 goals, 8 out of 2 of their big goal kickers.
Yeah, they have had their chances tonight. Abraham just has a tendency to stab at the ball when he has a set shot. When he's on the run, he just lets it flow.
Well, the whole body's moving through to the target, isn't it? When he has a set shot, he walks to it, and then he jerks to the kick at the end of the walk.
It's very difficult to win a game of football when you kick more points than goals. And this is the first time we've seen them bunch it centre-half forward for the kick-out. They're going man on man.
And we'll get a secondary wave of Demon players come up to the wing, so he'll swing straight onto the left foot. There they are. Woden's the target. They cover him.
Simpson it was. Farmer's on the ground, runs hard. Woden, he's got a very good presence of mind. Simpson, Farmer snatched it. Torpedo. Long and hard to the pocket. The big fly came from Robertson. Going to get a handball to Cook. He can't. Kangas are onto him. They've got him. It's a free kick. Holding the ball.
Yeah, right decision.
Pike out wide. Hagan inboard to Blakey in his 301st match. Kick to McKernan. Worked underneath it. Belted away by Clayton. Melbourne probably in the better position though. Coming back. Uliancelli again arches the back. Good kick out wide. He's got him. Robertson.
He read that all the way, Robertson. I was looking up the field as you were watching the play there, Bruce. He's got a lead here from Cookie. And gets it. Now, Cookie likes this, and as we've seen tonight, he's stabbing through the ball. There's not a lot of wind out there tonight.
He kicked one from nearly an identical position earlier, Derm. You called it. You said the ball is not bending at all. It did drift a touch towards the right post, but he did kick one from an extremely similar position.
You have a look at that on the lead. He's had a quick look over the shoulder. I'm leading, I'm yelling. I hope he hasn't followed me out.
Well, we'll get a great view of this shot. I mean, the camera will virtually be directly behind him, so you'll be able to follow the ball all the way through the goals, hopefully, if you're a Demon supporter.
It's kick 5. Huge kick here. This makes it really tough for the Kangaroos.
Oh, beautiful.
Kick 6 goals, Cook.
It's a good effort. Good result.
6 to Cook. Only once in his career, there's Pagan, only once in his career has Cook kicked 7 goals in a match, and that was against the Hawks in '97 playing for the Bulldogs. So he's almost in new territory here. There's a big game for him.
Yeah, he's really got the tail up too. He's just punching straight through to the target.
So the Kangas have just got to get the next 3.
Neitz has come out, left his man to take it on.
Bill to Pagan, off one step.
They just don't have a forward who can take a mark, the Kangaroos.
No. The only time they kicked 20 goals last year was against the Bombers early in the season, the Demons. So they've got 20 in round 2 this year. 20 goals, 5 to 14-16. Confident Walsh, he's played well all night. Kicks to centre wing, almost up to half forward. Robertson's been good. One out here, Archer versus Cook. Archer made it.
Cookie was never going to hit the front there when Arch got to him. Dishes off now. Pike will take it. Blakey takes it across the goal. They've got a few numbers out here, but still there's nothing with any authority on offer up forward.
That's
he has
a good
to go
switch.
Short.
Players out this side. He's got Pickett. He's got Pickett out this side. Also
Simpson.
Find
Simpson. Pickett running for him. Simpson's 55 metres out, unloads.
Oh, have a look at this.
Geez, a good long kick. It's a half a chance. McKernan couldn't mark it. Grant's in the pocket. He's kicked 2 goals late in the game. Brings it back. Hewitt kicks his 3rd. There's still a chance.
Well,
still a chance, aren't they?
They've got to put 2 on the trot.
4 of them. 4 roos. Defensive side of centre. 1 runs forward.
Powers kick. Bruce has got it. Demons have used the bench 24 times. Kangaroos 15 so far in the match. Bruce has kicked a half forward. Pike's got it. Cook unhappy, but I think Archer's free kick advantage given to Pike.
He said to the umpy, Cookie, hey, that's my free. He went off accepting it.
Seacamp was pretty good. Mickey to Clayton. Back to Capuano. Nowhere to kick it to. Seacamp's got some time here to deliver and does well. Brings her back inboard to Powell, little shorty, okay. Leoncelli's a probing kick, he's got some space. He goes long to the pocket. Robertson's at the back, works to the front, doesn't take it. Archer gone. Farmer's got him, play on call. Is it a free kick to Melbourne?
Has he gone too high on him, or is it a free for holding the ball?
No, I tell you what, Jeff Farmer will feel like he's earned this one, I think. He paid it for a one-handed handball. He threw it up with the one hand. And Jeff Farmer will think, look, he just traps him there. Oh, there it is.
That was the second hit. He got the first little hit, didn't go far enough, and then he's given it. Watch it. See, there's the first one.
That second one always gives it away.
He's been stiff there, Arch.
Now, what Jeff Farmer has to do here, he can seal the match with this kick. He's done the hard work. He's chased. He's made a few great tackles. He was worried about not getting a free kick earlier. He's finally got it. He can finish the game off right here.
Oh, I'd like to see him dodge him and run to the open goal. Not with that one.
Yes, he's got it.
Talk too soon.
Oh, Neil Danaher and Jim Steins. I think Todd Viney there. 21-5, 15-16. We said if they kick 4, they'd win. They've got 3, the Demons. It might still be enough. It's a very good lead late in this match. About halfway through the last quarter. About 12 minutes of footy left. Rigoni, big first half. Kicks to centre half forward. King front spot. Powell did very well. Gets it to Robertson. Pagan. Leoncelli, free kick to Pagan, not paid. Going forward, Pickett gets it to half forward. Walsh, he's got a bit of time here. Finds the footy, he's got Neats. Good kick, back to Nicholson.
Oh, he's opened him up here.
Oh, Motlop's cut it off. Doesn't take the mark. Back to Bell, up and under a bit. Front spot, Hewitt. Belted away at the back. Ingerson goes back to Clayton. Clayton straightens up and then delivers, finds Harvey.
They won't lie down.
Kick 2, Harvey. I said early in the match Calthorpe had 3. He actually has 2. I gave one of his Hewitt's goals to Calthorpe. So
we see it unfolding here. He's done well here to just hold the ball in because the whole sway of traffic was coming out to that suspected kick. But Harvey just inside in the corridor, and once he put that balk on it, he was open for it.
He's got his 3rd, and they keep coming.
The old adage
There's John, our contestant, who wants the Kangaroos by 18 points. He's a little bit depressed. He needs a miracle, and he knows it, to get the 10 grand or the grand final tickets. 19 points, but remember that the Kangaroos kicked 3 goals in about 3 minutes in the second quarter and got 4 late goals, I think, in 7 minutes, so nothing's beyond them. Demons may still need one more. Neats,
great
smother. Here's a chance. McKernan, this to really close it off.
Oh.
Misses. No, he's got it. He likes it. It's a goal. McKernan's kicked 2. Good stuff, Ryan Pagan, wasn't it? I mean, put his body on the line and did the hard stuff there.
That's what he has to do to be a regular player. He's just got to lay those kind of smothers, tackles. That's what's going to make him a senior player.
Demons need another goal really to close it because the Kangaroos will keep scoring, you think. Walsh marks.
This kid's been good.
It's become a shootout, hasn't it? 21-5 to 17-16. Powell.
Now, the problem the Demons could find themselves here, if they just decide to go short and they just hold it up, they're dead.
Leoncelli, there's far too long to be playing defensively now, isn't there?
Yep, you've just got to get on the bike and run it.
Turnover, vital. Harvey. Motlop's been terrific. He's a probing kick. Winnie will fly. Bringing it down with Hewitt to Phoebe. Now, he's playing defensively. Slow handball. Ingerson did well. Did well in the end, and that's a good kick.
He's lucky he's a left-footed there, Bruce. That wrong-footed the opponents. That was just a natural trait, not awareness.
Uze inboard. They've got to attack, don't they? They can't play defensively. That's good. Seacamp. Uze can go all the way. One bounce. He can go all the way. He decides to load it up. Cooks at the back. Big fly coming from Farmer. Built it away. Bruce, King under the pump. Bruce was good. Robertson is still in play. It's in the pocket. He's got to come in board. He's had 3 blokes to go to. He was a bit over anxious. North hold it up. Keep it there. Ball up.
He's lost his spring, Jeff Farmer, hasn't he? 2 years ago he would have sailed over the top of the pack there, but he has lost his spring in that contest and illustrated it. Yep, if they stop running the Demons, they're dead in the water. Their game is to just outrun the Kangaroos through the middle of the ground, and they've just gone short for the last 5 minutes and haven't had those runners through the lines.
Robertson took it out of the air, hooks it back, and Bruce has still got it in play. The handball, McDonald. Oh, good play. McDonald again. Close, close. They like it. I don't think so. A point.
They've only got to kick one to seal it.
For sure.
Gee, it'd be theft if the Kangaroos can come back and win from here. It would be grand theft.
I tell you what, they're not bad at doing this, though, the Kangaroos. They did it a fair bit last year. They can pinch a game better than anybody.
6 more scoring shots to the Roos, but look, they just haven't looked authoritative when they've gone forward inside their 50, have they?
And yet they've kicked 17-16. Actually, when you think about it, they've been pretty accurate late in this match, the Kangaroos.
Gee, that's a great kick out from the square. Straight up the middle they went.
Simpson, here's a go. Good mark. Taken by Scholl. He's paid it.
Well, they had the paddock going there.
He's got to go back and kick the goal from there. He had players streaming on. But what about the decision they made from the kick out? They said, we'll go long and we'll go straight down the middle. 2 kicks, Scholl lining up for goal.
This to bring it within 8 points. It's a post.
Nicholson off. And Simmons back on. He's lost a bit of faith in Nicholson late in the match. Probably thought, I've given Simmons more airtime out on the ground. He's probably just got the tempo up his sleeve. Got the tempo of the game a little bit better. We've got to play on from full back hit. And the word from the bench, he's got a fair bit of cramp, Nicholson, too.
Gee, that's a good grab,
Oh, look at this.
Green is on.
Have a bounce.
Green, who kicked 2 goals in the third quarter in his debut. Could he kick a remarkable goal here? Gets close. Hooks it, not a good kick. In fact, poor play.
He'll learn from that. That's all he can do from that. Take that one away as experience.
Pickett. Still with Pickett.
Well, that's not a good kick either.
Needs Blakey. Farmer. Well played, Farmer, to get back. Could he make a contest? Harvey was good. McDonald gets around him. McDonald, well done to Harvey. This is a huge bit of play. Blakey. Oh, he gets away too easily from Farmer. Bangs long. Scholl's a chance. Scholl's a real chance at the back. Scholl, left foot. Point.
Gee, he's had 2 opportunities, Craig Scholl, and he's normally deadly up forward. They, in all honesty, they've had enough opportunities to win this game. They've had enough of the ball. They don't deserve to win it, but they've had enough of it to get the job done.
8 more scoring shots.
Good chase by Ingerson. Just put enough pressure on.
Important nudge, that last little one there.
Still plenty of time, as you can see.
Got the huddle.
23,348, the crowd. Not very good.
Wait for the break here on the huddle. Nothing definitive. He's going to go. No, that's all right. Got good hands, this kid, and a cool head, Walsh.
Well, they say tight games are won by experience, Doom. The Kangaroos have got the experience, but the Demons look to have the answers at the moment.
Phoebe at half-back.
They're just falling down at half-forward now, the Demons, on running it through, getting a bit more pressure, and the kicks are landing around the domain of the half-forward.
Bruce worked out of it by Abraham to Pickett, who's really lifted his work rate, to the Simpson. Kick in board, 50-50. McDonald probably should have done better. Yeah. King's a chance. King's a chance. Motlop's on the goal square. Motlop caught underneath. You think Ingerson would be the man here? Yes.
Oh. When you see, you knew he was going to go to ground then, you thought you've got to get that second grab done or she's all over.
Loose man on here. You'll see Walsh over to McDonald. He can run a paddock here. He can go all the way down to Woden.
Oh, Harvey chasing like a demon.
He kicks to Farmer. Good kick too. Farmer will try and take him on, you'd think. The whiz is away. 60 metres out. Cook on the bounce. Does he take it? No. Doesn't get a handball away. Holding the ball.
Oh.
Blakey gets it.
The loose men were on this side of the ground. He didn't see them.
And McDonald taken off of that indiscretion there where he just didn't go quite hard enough at it.
Free kick to Scholl. Kangaroos are a real chance of winning this match.
Yep.
Two-goal ball
They'll kick long to McKernan in the square. Oh, it hasn't got enough weight.
Leoncelli's got it.
Scholl's disposal has let him down badly in this last quarter. Three times.
Yeah, kicked 3 points and that one as well. So, unlike him, Bruce, what a game he's played. So confident.
He's had it bounce right on the boundary line.
Take it out, son, if you want.
That was one rookie to another and the other one Green. So 3 rookies around this for the Demons. Their future in a way. Green leaves it for Wheatley.
He's tired, David King.
The whiz with Blakey.
Ledge him here.
Where's the chance? They've got loose man. Little kick shortly from Simmons.
Oh, he hasn't
Decides
seen
to
him.
go. Cook should mark it. Gone, no. Coming back. Point. Could be handy. 13 points.
Gee, Robertson was all on his own, 20 metres out, and he is furious, throwing his hands about, saying, "Why didn't you kick it to me?"
He's right.
How tired are they, Dipper?
Oh, very tight. I saw David King there, as Jason mentioned, just gasping for air. Winnie Abraham is on the bench, gasping for air. Still very warm conditions. Very fast quarter.
King, centre wing. They're still going, the Kangaroos.
Archer pushed forward.
It's a good kick. It's got him. Not paid. Play on. Archer up. Archer up. Takes Seacamp on. Kicks to centre half forward. Well played by Uze. Walsh was terrific. He was wonderful to Uze. Good stuff at the back. And a lovely kick to Leoncelli.
You're going to split them up the middle
They
here.
got loose men everywhere.
That's because the Kangaroos have all run forward, so it's going to work going the other way. If he just sees his teammate over the top here, he's going to hold it up.
Back to Schwarz.
He'll hug the boundary.
Wheatley. Front spot, but Pike just a bit of experience, got him underneath. Pike kicked into the centre. Good mark by Grant. He's done that a couple of times. He's a lovely kick. He tries to kick it out in front.
Oh, come on.
Calthorpe and Phoebe to get back. Phoebe works it to the line, out of play.
David Neese did everything bar undress Corey McKernan there. He has manhandled him from top to bottom, and poor old Corey couldn't get a free kick.
Powell off, Rigoni comes on. Powell's just about run his nut out now. He's all done.
22
Rigoni
possessions.
Rigoni will give him a bit of pep through the middle now.
Must get a goal out of this, the Kangaroos. The time will beat them if they don't. Ingerson off the side. Important bounce. Well played, Rigoni. To Green. Gee, they're going to talk about their kids tonight, aren't they? Green to Bruce. What a contribution they've had from their rookies in this match. Bruce's kick is a smart one. To half forward, a good kick. Cook should have marked it.
Yep.
Hey, Bruce, the North Melbourne bench are complaining the phone's not working. It has been working for the last 3 or 4 minutes, so no message has been able to come down from the coach.
Thanks, Dipper. That's interesting stuff, isn't it?
Gee, he did the hard work, James Cook. Thought he had it.
Yep. So what you try and teach the kids when you go down and teach them, you just say the hardest work in footy is getting yourself and your opponent out of the way to get both hands on the ball. The easy bit is hanging onto it.
Green towards the line, out of play.
This is suiting the Demons now.
Oh, they're eating up the time, and it'd take a miracle. I mean, mind you, we did see the Kangaroos put 3 goals on in the space of a couple of minutes earlier on in the match.
Mickey and Schwarz. Robertson, Pickett. Free kick, no. Last time Melbourne won a match, round 13 last year.
Yep.
June 27 was the last time the Demons won a footy match. Forget the Ansett Cup. It's been a long time.
That's 9 months.
9 months since they've won, and they're sitting on a 2-goal lead here, very late. Schwarz to Green to Robertson, front of the square. Ball still to be won, off the ground. Walsh loved his game, This would be fitting. Tart comes off King, goes to Simpson, throws it away in the end, and pinged.
Great
Melbourne
tackle.
to win it. Melbourne have won it.
Walsh tackle again. He's not going to allow it, the umpire, or is he?
Robertson's kicked the goal. It's a goal to Robertson. The Demons are home.
That and the second up tackle. How good is that?
Oh, terrific stuff by Walsh. Robertson gets his 3rd. Last year's premiers are going to lose their 2nd consecutive match at the start of the season. Free kick to Melbourne. This is the only way the Kangaroos can get a message at the moment. Running to the box. It has not been their night. It hasn't been their start for the season. It's a fortnight they'd want to forget, isn't it? Long kick to half forward. Mark taken by Blakey.
Just didn't read it coming out this side, Jeff Farmer.
Big win for Melbourne tonight. Just huge. Pike's kick. Jeff White was a late withdrawal, and yet they've been able to do the premiers of last year. Seacamp inboard to McDonald. McDonald to Wheatley. Well, what a contribution from the 3 rookies, Bruce, Green and Wheatley.
Got to question whether the game's suiting these real young kids. We saw last Monday, Collingwood were very well served by absolute rookies as well. We've seen tonight 3 rookies. How many games? This is 2 first gamers and 1 second gamer.
4 games between them after tonight.
Yep.
And Bruce has kicked 4 goals and Green's kicked 2. This has been a beautiful pocket for the Demons all night, but surely he couldn't kick this. Robertson.
He has taken a chest mark in front of a pack uncontested, Ben.
There's a bit of play in that pack, and I reckon if the umpire hadn't have had the eyes on Robertson running through there, he might have seen a bit of something else going on. It was made a bit easier by all the congestion there, and yep, a bit of bodywork going on there, unnoticed.
Well, tell you what, judging by where he took the mark too, he's got a pretty kind angle off the goal, off the field umpire.
Let's play on. He's snuck it here.
West Coast kicked 24 goals 10 last week against the Kangaroos. We're on 22-7 I should say. So 47 goals in 2 matches if he scores. It'll be 4 second half goals if he kicks it.
Yep.
He's got it. We've had 24-10 and 23-7 kicked against them in the first 2 matches.
You know, it's funny, Bruce, people have always said that the Kangaroos have a rock-solid defence. And you talk about people like Mick Martin and Glenn Archer down back who have been incredible stalwarts for them. But over the last probably 2 years, they have been exposed. They take a lot of risks running out, and they were only 9th in terms of defence last year. And for one of the top sides considered one of the best defences, it's almost a bit of a myth.
Neil Danaher there.
Big night for him, isn't it?
Oh, 9 months between drinks. He's got to be happy.
Terrific stuff. And they've finished it off, which is great. Yep. They haven't fallen in. They've actually won running away in the end. And won by 25 points. Well done, Demons. Tell you what, they'll get more than 23,000 when they play here next time. They'll come out of the woodwork.
The defensive aspect of the Kangaroos must be addressed within the next 7 days. I mean, the defence, talking about the back line, can only stand up for so long. Sure, Mick's not in the full-back position to give them that rock back line and for the rest to gather around, but their midfield players and the midfield players who restrict the opposition's ball-carrying ability hasn't been there for 2 weeks.
Anthony Hudson's got Cameron Bruce. Hutto.
Cameron, well done. What a win. Yeah, it was a bit of a relief, you know, losing the first game and being so close. It was great to come out here and get a win on the board. And against a quality opposition of the Kangaroos, it was a really good effort. It was a frenetic finish, wasn't it, after you've been ahead so far? Oh, we always, they were always plugging away. We'd always get, we'd give you 25 points up. They'd kick a couple of goals. We'd always be up and down. We could never skip away, but it was a great effort to come back. And what was the message at three-quarter time? It was just to, persevere, keep going, and never give in. Relentless footy, and it's good to get up. Great stuff. All the young guys did a great job. Oh yeah, Brad Green coming in for his first game. I think he kicked a couple. All the boys come straight in and doing really well. It was something to look forward to. Let's go. Well done.
He's a good kid, isn't he? He's a good kid.
There's a lot of promise in that Demons lineup now. I mean, they look to have recruited well when you look at the young players coming through, and that's what they need.
No doubt about it. Well, there they are. Good on them. A terrific result. We'll be back with more. The champions are down, but they're not out yet.
Well done, Captain. First one to get the mate.
It's the emblem for me and for you. It's
9 months since they sang it, but they haven't forgotten the words, have they?
No, you don't forget those.
Gee, what a big win. Remarkable scoreline, 23-7 to 17-18.
Very, very good kicking there. You see they've had 5 scoring shots more, the Roos, but it wasn't enough to get them home. 25-point deficit.
I tell you what, our Coca-Cola tipsters haven't been too good so far, have they? But none of us have. Dipper, John didn't have much luck.
Yeah, no luck tonight, Johnny, but terrific win by the Demons, yeah?
They were too good tonight, but, you know, thanks for picking me out of the crowd there, and it was fantastic sitting there behind the bench.
No worries at all. Listen, mate, so you're going away empty-handed. Well done.
You got some goodies in here for me?
I certainly
Thanks
have.
very much to Channel 7 and Coca-Cola.
Good on you, buddy. Let's get out of here.
Thanks for Dipper, you get out of there. You know what it's like to make a big debut. Green's debut tonight, along with Bruce also in his second match and Wheatley. But Green was terrific in the third quarter, wasn't he?
The thing I like about them is their sure ball handling. I mean, that is a solid pickup when you can have your head knocked off. When your nose is over the ball, you're on the move, you can really get hurt. Cookie here, shades of a centre-half forward here. The only thing going against him is his wind tank. He can't play out there for longer than 5 minutes.
And this was a long bomb from this kid, just inside 50.
He's got the hook foot, but he's put that one through, and you could see just got the kicking action a little bit like a Mark Bayes, so going a long way.
Well, that's a brand new recruit. A little bit older is James Cook, who had made a major contribution tonight.
I thought Cookie was fantastic. This is his first chance he had. He fell over a few times, and this one he thought, I've got to give it off, I've got to get rid of it. Hey, I'm a chance, I'll kick a goal, and the confidence just went up from there. We see he had the kicking boot on too. He was a target up forward. He was very good for them, and he thoroughly enjoyed his footy tonight.
Well, he's only kicked 7 once in a match, and that was against the Hawks when he played for the Doggies 3 years ago. So this is about as good as it gets for him, and it's very good.
Yeah, and he's still coughed up a few. You know, the thing with Cookie is he's got to go in after the game and say, I've kicked 6, I'm not satisfied. I coughed up a few, I dropped a few marks, and I missed a couple of shots. He's got to be hungry for more.
Let's see what the fans are saying. Anthony Hudson's out there with the exit poll.
Big game, big game. Big game with what was a very young side, the Baby D's, the last-minute pull-out of White. Fantastic story. They were in there all the way, somewhere between 2 and 6 goals. Big game. They stayed there at 25 points for the end. Go D's.
Good on you. Yeah, we'll see what the other Melbourne supporters think. What do you think, sir?
Fantastic win. Nice start to the season. Very good.
Can they go on with it?
I'm sure they can.
All right. Thank you very much. We'll find another Melbourne supporter over here.
Go D's!
We're very happy tonight. It was a young side, a lot of guts, a lot of determination. Young Walsh from the back line, I think, showed determination. And good game from young Bruce. Beautiful, thank you.
It's good, isn't it, to see the fans. And let's go down to Jason, who's just left us. Dash down, he's talking to Neil Danaher. Jason.
Yeah, Bruce, scenes of jubilation down here in the Demons dressing room. I have the coach, Neil Danaher, with me. And Neil, I guess, pretty relieved first up to get one on the board.
Yeah, that's right. 2 points last week. We didn't play well. Tonight I thought we played really well against quality opposition, and we had to play right till the end. And, you know, it's exciting to get your first win against last year's premiers.
I thought one of the great things tonight was the leadership at all levels. I mean, we know Schwarz and Neitz will do the job for you, but the middle core, like the Leonchellis, the Wowodens and the Uzes, they were tremendous in midfield.
Yeah, and I thought Simmons was terrific. You know, he had to come in for Jeff White. Jeff White was probably one of our better players last week. Got his chance. We put it to him that he had to lead the ruck, and look, I thought he was magnificent with help from Alistair Nicholson.
And you must be terribly excited with the unearthing of the new talent in Brad Green, Cameron Bruce. They were both sensational. We didn't see too much of Paul Wheatley.
Yeah, they're all exciting youngsters, and look, in a sense, we've lost a lot of champions over the last 2 or 3 years, and we've got to blood these kids, and they're quite exciting, and they'll have their days up and down, but they're up tonight.
Neil, congratulations on the win. Go and join the boys, and well done.
Thanks, Jason. Good stuff. Well done to Neil Danaher. That gets them going, doesn't it?
He's going to enjoy this one.
He sure is. We're going to take a break. We'll find out Dermot's votes after the break. But that bloke's a lot happier now, isn't he? 145 to 120 in the end.
Making life easier.
On a night when there were plenty of stories, this is a big one.
Yeah.
No messages in the last 5 minutes for the Kangaroos. They're absolutely furious. The phone broke down, and this is the way they had to relay messages, and it was tight 5 minutes to go.
Look, he probably would have been running over there to tell Dennis that, hey, the messages aren't getting through. You come down onto the boundary. But he probably thought by that stage, well, we're all out of time.
And of course, the box being on the other side made it even worse for North Melbourne. They are furious about all of that with 5 minutes remaining. No messages going through. Who have you given the votes to, Dermot?
Well, I went one for Peter Bell. I thought he was the best contributor for the Roos all night. James Cook, he gave him a target up forward. First time I've ever given Cookie votes, so well done there, mate. And Liancelli, not perhaps the most damaging at any stage, but for four-quarter effort, plenty of the ball, 30-odd possessions, sure hands around the pack, I gave him 3. There could have been any one of 8 players pick up votes in a very even game.
The latter, well, it's not a familiar look for the Kangaroos. I know they were only 1 out of 4 last year, but I think this is a bit more desperate for them.
Look, I was really disappointed in the fact that their defensive skills of their midfielders were unable to hold down a running Melbourne team. They pulled down no tackles.
So Melbourne go to Sydney next week, and the Kangas have got Richmond here. Melbourne's percentage 110.7, but round 2 continues. Tough to call Geelong St Kilda.
Yeah, toss of a coin there.
Port should win, do you think?
I think at home, and they've been stung into it with all the goings on there this week.
Big Sunday, 4 matches.
Yeah, look, Carlton, you've got to go with the favourite there. I'm going for Adelaide. I think they can. Western Bulldogs taking on Brisbane Lions. I'm going for the Lions. I think they're a great team.
That's a night match, by the way, the Lions and the Bulldogs. Transfer to a night match.
No home ground advantage, and I'm going for West Coast at home, Bruce.
Yeah, there's a couple of good teams late on that Sunday night. Well, what a night it's been, Dermot.
Great game tonight.
Terrific game. Hope you enjoyed it at home as much as we did. In the end, it was the Demons by 25 points over the Kangaroos.